Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we... All right, my friends. Oh my God, it's early. All right, Sam playing super fast, dude. What's happening here? All right, so C5 is the normal thing besides B6. I'm assuming knight takes d5 here. Oh my God, h4. Oh my God, Sam. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. That's an amazing move, h4, dude. That is just an amazing move. Holy smokes, dude. All right, I'm going to go get my coffee now because dude has to think of... That's a great move. That's a great move. For what we're doing today, that is an amazing move. That is just an amazing move. Okay, I'll be right back. Wait. I just realized my layout is shite. My layout is shite. My layout. All right, the zombie will return. Darn it. The zombie will return.
is amazing for Sam. Okay. So, my friends. Yeah, this is an amazing position for us. I'm going to grab this and ask the database what it looks like. But basically, it doesn't get any better for opening prep than this. Okay. We got the time advantage. Honestly, I feel we have a nice position, a very nice position. I'm just going to open the Dojo database to see what it's like. First of all, so the position after 6e3, this has been seen throughout my life a gazillion times, and b6 has been played, but by far like c5 knight vd7 would be the main moves. Okay, so now I just want to stress Dubov has not been really working on his openings, so he might think he's a genius. But then after b6, queen c2 is very rare. So even if Dubov had prepped out this b6 thing, queen c2 would not have been on his agenda. It's just a very rare move. Okay. Now, would Sam have then known about whether the guy was going to play bishop a6 or bishop b7? I don't know. Anyways, bishop a6. And c takes d5 has been played 7 times. Knight takes d5 4 times. And of course, h4 is a novelty. So Sam has found a very, very beautiful, well, his computer has found, let's be fair, a beautiful thing here. So the king is safe on f1. It might even play g3, king g2 at some point. This square is really held under containment. Rook d1. And we have everything going for us. c6. And now a nice simple move, f5. So basically black, when you see h4, you're going to be obsessing over knight g5 ideas. And I believe what dude was saying to himself here is with c6 and knight d7 is when knight g5 happens, I'm just going to sit here, bro. I'm not going to give you any g6 stuff. So Sam says, you know what, I can use this f-pawn for other things, namely to light up the light squares. And here we go. I would say Sam has a reasonable advantage here. Maybe what we might expect is something like knight f6 and g3 followed by king g2. We'll see if I'm a GM today. We'll see if I'm a GM today. And we got a nice comment by Baraja Ramirez in the chat. Sam likes this h4 business. He recommends it in similar lines where white goes c5 after knight d7. Now, I think knight e5, while I like my g3 move, knight e5 is a little bit more fancy because black was about to maybe play queen d7 or queen c8. And now after knight e5, we can always play queen f3 if, let's say, queen c8. This h4 business is, of course, very computer-driven. The computer loves h4 and loads of positions where people wouldn't normally think about it. Okay, we have, I think Sam has to think on this move. The instant candidates, because, yeah, you got a lot. Actually, it looks like, I thought for a second he played it instantly. He's got g3, he's got g4, he's got rook h3, he's got h5. h5 might be a very simple and strong move. The problem with rook c8 is you have just prevented yourself from challenging my queen. So my queen is allowed to sit there. Sam instantly with Harry the H-pawn. Oh, we're going to grab that pirate by the coconuts. That's right. But H5, very simple and strong. And the computer, since this is clearly some computer stuff, generally does not want to ever let you, the abstract you, achieve H6. So I'm guessing from the computer's perspective, H6 would be the right move here. This is so pleasant for white. I really like too that the rooks are ready to rumble over here. And one cool thing about rook h3 and over, there's a lot of different overs, by the way, depending on what black does, is then our king, we just say, hey, bro, my king on f1 it's set for life. You know, it's pimping for life. It doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't need to do anything. It is a very early day for me. It is super unslept. Didn't sleep well at all last night, but with H4, Sam, thank you very much. I'm glad I woke up, man. I'm glad I'm here. Okay, I'm going to relax, though, because, man, I am unslept. All right. So, bishop b4. In principle, I really don't like this move. But I also didn't have a great suggestion for what to do. In addition to all right, I'm just thinking about it. All right, rook h3. I thought h6 was definitely also a candidate move there. But I think a nice thing about rook h3 is there might be some position where we want to play rook g3 without pushing h6. So like, yeah, in fact, he might want to push h6 himself here. So I think like one benefit of bishop b4 is you enable the queen to come talk to my queen. Clearly, you might try to do some kind of counterplay like this as well. But now when you land on queen d5 and I play rook g3, then I'm threatening queen f6. All right, so I'm guessing. Notice also, like, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen d5. Then I'm going to play h6 for sure. You can't leave the knight. Wait, that might not be entirely true. Maybe he could play. Well, if he plays queen e4, something like that, at the minimum. No, that looks terrible for him. I mean, queen e6. I mean, it's bad. It's real bad. All right, takes. We're anticipating pawn takes. Rook takes might be playable. The the story behind rook takes would be that I'm hitting the pawn, but positionally, you know, for a tempo. But positionally, I want this. Now he finally plays h6. Do I have a little bit of regret for Sam that he did not play h6 himself? A little. A little. However, if I now play rook g3 right, okay, if I play rook g3 right now, then what am I threatening, first of all? That's a very good question, actually, Jesse. What are you threatening after rook g3? If I had played rook takes c3, I at least had a tempo where he doesn't have anything. One reason I really like to watch these with a slower time control is I get a chance myself to think about what the hell's going on. So notice what's happening with c4 now is most chump players would be obsessed with the attack on the king, but with c4, Sam is also saying, hey buddy, I am going to be playing with multiple ideas here. All right, rook e8. I thought queen e7 looked very sensible. d5 might actually happen. d5 might happen. d5 seems very controversial, though, because you're opening up the c rook. Now, one of the things, the reason why the computer can play h4 so easily, and we have often trouble with it, is we get to a position like this, even before c4, and we're like, do I know what I'm doing? I don't know. It's easier for the computer to find weird little plans. Here he comes, g4. Now, by the way, I really thought queen e7 should have happened because I need to get the lady to e6 to be rude to her. But g4 is a nice move, bro, because first of all, the knight no puedo move because of queen f7. And now I'm just going to play g5. And then I'm going to crush you in Russia. This looks real bad for black. I thought rook e8 might be a really bad move, by the way, because it is not allowing the queen to do her thing. Pizza's saying, I think it's because king's safety. That's why it's harder for humans. That's also, yeah, very true. What position like this, yeah. Yeah, and you know, when you first see king f1, you're like, no, boss, that's not where my king goes. But after the computer shows you, like after I saw h4, Sam play h4, no one had ever done it. It was clearly a computer move. I was like, okay, I can see how this works. All right, rook c7. Maybe he should have done it last move. Rook c7 obviously protects this, enables queen c8. But now we get g5 off in time. And Sam's just checking that no wild thing happens to us after g5. The wild thing, by the way, could be g5, hg, queen g5, knight d7. That might be a little uncomfortable for us. Maybe. One amazing move on knight d7 might be knight f7. I don't know if it works, but I can tell you now, it looks pretty spicy. Also on g5, hg, we could throw in h6. That might also be a very powerful move. Though on h6, it's hard to know what we're going to do on queen c8. Wow, fun. Okay, here we go. g5, hg, queen g5. The general theory of play here would be that if black doesn't trade off some coconuts immediately, they are lost simply. Okay, but here was my idea for black, and here was my counter idea for white. Let's take a look. King f7. Check to the miserable king. King here. I don't know if this works. I can play h6. Dude has knight f6. I don't know if this, I don't know. I don't think that was the world bringer. It looked very promising. Let's go back. So we're calculating in real time. These positions we can totally lose. All right, rook c7, rook e3. So stabilizing the position with rook e3. Queen c8 as expected. And I want to say that's a mild bummer for us, because now we are not achieving g5. So basically, this was our big chance to strike with g5. Sam also, I'm going to guess it was this position. He was like, I don't see it either, boss. I don't see it either. Okay, so here we go. Queen c8. We have a nice time advantage, but this could get away from us. Very unclear which retreat square we should go to. In general, queen f4 is what we'd like to do. We got to move. Queen c8, he bails. Sam bails. Now, do we feel that white is better in this position? Yes, we do. It's not the dream. It's not the dream that was begun with h4, but it is still a nice position, especially because the knight on f6 doesn't have any great moves. All right, rook c8. Well, first question, Sam, can we rock him with d5? When we play d5, are we guaranteed to play d6? I think there's just a simple question here. With d5, it's pop, 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 rook c5. It looks like we're one tempo short on that bad boy. Yeah. Okay. So not d5. So I think we could do, okay, so first of all, why is white better? Because the black king has less squares, because our knight is better. But it's not easy to know what to do. If I was just playing blitz chess, maybe I'd do something like that. That's some weenie chess right there. Okay, but it would stabilize the position for us. a4 is not a bad move. f4 is very frisky, but f4 would seem to threaten d5. f4 could go maybe like this. f4, let's just pretend we're threatening d5. To me, it seems like we are, okay? Here to stop it. King e2. And then no matter what he does, king f3, saying, hey, bro, I am in control of this thing. And you could also play a4 is never a bad idea here too. One of black's little counter strikes might be to play b5. In fact, let's see this here for a second. We got to move. a4, good. So I think that b5 thing was always on the table for black as a way to strike out. Rook e d8. So he is preventing d5. I don't think we were threatening it yet anyway. One of the nice things about a4 is it let us just decide what we're going to do. Now I think when I say that, I mean, what are we going to do with this pawn and what do we do with this king? Do we want to play for a Karpovian little grab, or do we want to play for like a Kasparov and Karish style f4 stuff? King e2, nice. Why? Because it's flexible. I don't have to decide the f-pawn yet. Very nice. Okay. Notice also with a4, anytime b5 comes, I think I'm playing boom. Well, and then minimum boom. He could consider this b5 move right now. If he was going to do it, it's right now. Personally, I would be drawn to b5. All right, knight d7. Notice that we're... I was about to say we're going to move the knight, but we don't have to move the knight. Even it being black's move, we're still much better here. Like, we could recapture with the pawn, and we have a whole thing. And Sam says, "Yep, that's me, Cry. That's me." Sam, of course, published a whole thing on Rook Endgames. And this looks like a classic Rook Endgame from Korshnoy's famous Practical Rook Endings. And one of the things that book taught me is that these are incredibly complicated, first of all. But number two, like it matters. Korshnoy has a great word. He calls it the kinetic energy of the pawns. That just means how fast I am to get to the other side of the board. It sounds primitive, but like when things get crazy, that's when the tactical opportunities later are going to arise for us to actually push those babies to the edge of the board. Sam's playing I'm sure, we have mistakes, but the transition to the end game was safe and it kept our advantage. So that was super nice. Now we have knight f8. I would say that's a difficult move to know what to do against. We don't want to play f5 because of knight h7. We can think about d5, but then of course we're freeing this guy. So that's a very concrete move. It's pretty tricky. It's pretty tricky, dude. It's also annoying. Knight f8 is a nice, annoying move for us to face. All right, so default would be, I don't like it though. Default is just to put this rook here and then put the king here. But then it's hard to know what we're doing then. Because once the knight achieves e6 and we push d5, he'll get this square. If we push d5 like a maniac, and let's say d5 like a maniac, I didn't know what else he was going to do. C takes c5. The game has become pretty hot. Now, let's talk. The knight on f8 has to improve himself, but we have just improved the black rook. Okay, rook d6. Now, one of the things about that move that's nice for us is that we were uncertain if we wanted to play d6 ourselves. And now the rook is a terrible blockader of the piece, the pawn. Okay, my friends, rook d4 would be the natural move, but could black play knight e6 then? Let's briefly look. Rook d4, knight e6, pawn takes, rook takes, e7, rook c8. Knight c6, welcome to the dojo. Got him. Okay, so that's a nice thing. Rook d4, I'm a GM today. Very simple because this is a terrible blockader and we want the ability to play here. Knight h7 comes. My instinct is that knight c4 is a winning position for white. But okay, Black's last gasp, his last gasp is going to be to say, all right, from f6, I'm going to hold this pawn down, this blockade square down. Knight c4, rook d8. Now, in addition to d6, we could consider rook e7. But, we kind of want to play d6. d6, there we go, buddy. Now, on knight f6, we have several moves on knight f6, but one bummer for us is, let's say knight f6, rook e7, he always has rook c3. Black could also consider knight f8. The knight on f6 is nice because maybe it has counterplay here, but it's poor in the sense that, hey, buddy, I might whack you. You might be able to take my pawn, but then your knight's not coming back. Ooh, buddy. That's a big choice right there, big defensive choice. We've built the position nicely. We want to play something basic like rook e7. Here's a nice variation. Pop. King f8. Pop, baby. Oh. So that's why the decision between knight f6 and knight f8 is a big one. Now, if you go knight f8, now the problem is I can leave this third rank, and on rook c3, you're not like attacking this stuff. And I just walk up. You're not attacking that stuff, so I just walk up. All right, knight f8 played. Oh, all right, so rook e7 is the main candidate move. We might have other nice things, though. And honestly, maybe rook e7 is a blunder because of knight e6. We could also consider f5 to block him out. Now, it looks weird because then he comes back. But tempo is everything. And when you do come back, maybe that's when I play rook e7. So again, it's the knight coming to e6 that's the drama for us. Oh, man. All right. All right, Sam, what do we got? It looks real good, but it's not over yet. Let me just show something basic. If rook e7, knight e6, rook e4, knight c5, and we have a legitimate little problem here. Is it? Well, how legitimate of a problem is it, Cry? You can play rook e8 here. Oh, that's a very important. I'm glad I almost gave up on this variation. But that looks very promising. Knight e5, not only threatening d7, but also knight f7, goodbye. So, rook e7, knight e6, rook e4, he's got it, buddy! All right, let me just stress. It is a major bummer for black that he doesn't have knight c5 here. A major bummer. Now, does he want to maybe have rook c3 check? That could be annoying for us. Okay, we got to move. a6. Now, one question I have is, no, we cannot play f5 because of knight g5. So that's no lo puedo. If we play d7, I'm concerned about king f8, amongst other things. If we play rook b7, we're dealing with this. Okay, this is a very hard momentito. And a6 might be a really challenging move for us to face because dude is also threatening b5. Oh, shit. Oh, buddy, I don't know. I do not have the answers here. I do not have the answers. Okay, wait, I got an idea. If we play knight e5, rook takes, check. Now, maybe he can play knight f8, but just to show, that's an idea with mate intentions. All right, what do we got? d7, very interesting move. Okay, I am missing something here because I was seeing king f8. Oh, I got it, buddy. What a nice idea. Look at that. Queen, bam, bam. That's why I'm not a super GM, bruv. That's why I'm not a super GM. Oh, buddy. These nuts. Very nice move, Sam. Very nice visualization. Rook c3, king e2. Rook e8 looks, I mean, it's a hell of a drug. We might just be winning. D7 exclam, dude. So notice that was just, you know, just fine visualization. And one thing I want to stress is that's the kind of thing Chump GM might find, but I don't know if I'm going to find it fast enough. So much of this, like, not only rapid, but classical too, is you got to find it kind of fast, the idea, because there's going to be multiple ideas you got to find. And I think we got him. I think D7 was a real exclam. A6, D7. Took a minute on that move, King F8, and I believe we're now going to play Rook E8 and end it. Ooh. Now, is there some way where he could try to defend this game? I don't think so, dude. I think you're cooked. Maybe B5? I don't think so. It's looking real good, dude. It's looking real good. That was a great game by Sam, dude. That was an amazing game. All right, B5. We have plenty of time. The non-fancy option here is just AB, AB, knight E3. AB. Rook C4. Ooh. Rook C4, AB5. Okay. Let's think about it. Gut reaction is Rook C8, King D. Maybe Knight D8 happens, but now then I play Rook B8. So Rook C8, King D7, Rook G8 would be my thought. Also, Rook C8, King D7. I can play FE. Welcome to the dojo. Welcome to the dojo. This game is done. This game is done. Depesky says Rook E4 blundered. I don't know why it's a blunder. I think we're just totally winning this. This is game over. I mean, it was game over before. It was already game over. Now, Black can try to set up a fortress. I don't believe in it at all. But, we haven't actually finished the game. Rook C7 may be a very high-class move. Oh, it's a nice class. That's just a very high-class move, dude. I mean, Trump GM would have played Rook B8 for sure. But this one, just full domination. And now we'll play King D3. Very nice, dude. Now this it is a little tricky because while I'm getting the pawn, Black can hope to G5? G5? This boy's playing for murder, man. This boy's playing for murder. Holy moly, G5, dude. Oh. He's going to play F6, bro. Oh, damn, Sam don't play, bro. Sam is not playing around. Rook C8, King E7. I think it's F6 right now. Dang, this is a high-class game, bruv. Wow. Oh, he's not playing at all. He's pissed. He is executing this man. Also, Rook takes D8. Looks like it also wins. So both Rook D8 and F6. You don't need to be so fancy. Wow, Sam. This is full genius level. He goes Rook D8. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Welcome to the dojo. Oh, Sam, dude. That was a great game, man. Congratulations. Damn. Who's nuts? D's nuts, bro. Damn. Who's nuts? D's nuts. All right, my friends. It's very basic. I deserve another coffee. I deserve a coffee. Well, and so we're going to get ready for the next round. We'll briefly look at this, though. We got some results. So draw with these chumps. Grebnev, Episenko wins. Okay. Donchenko won. That's a surprise. This guy is like, holy moly, that gives him good chances to advance. Then that's it. All right, so we are in our break mode. Let's go. Is it this? Can I do this? Bang. I used to have a thing here, but it doesn't work anymore. All right, let me play you a rap song in honor of Sam here. Dude, that was a great game. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the dojo. Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo. Welcome to the dojo. Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses deuces are useless. He rues his inaction, awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practice his rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one.
All right, we are back, my friends. Oh, that was amazing. All right, so what we're gonna do. Patrick Daly says Sam's always the last guy on my dodgeball team, but it's really impressive. It's very impressive, dude. It is incredibly impressive. Yeah, I mean, I've known him since he was a kid, and I never believed him in either, dude. And now I'm starting to believe. Also, it's just a really cool story, I think, of like a guy coming back after, I don't even know what his illness was, dude. He told it only to a couple people. David knows what it is. He's going to tell us someday. But he had some grief. All right. So first question is, I can expand this view a little bit to include the computer. Actually, let's just, anyways, I'm going to include the computer, but we're going to see, is the computer's first move here H4? It is not. It is not H4 in this position. All right, let's just do a little expanded view here. Just to briefly look at some computer stuff. So one of the things, dude, about H4 is like maybe it was even something he's mixing up his lines. But like I said, from a practical point of view, it is evil. Okay, so the computer wants the very strange knight F4, EF4, bishop B7. That would have been very hard. Now, the computer says it's ultimately equal, but what is the point? The point is to play bishop D6 or something, and then there's no G3 because this guy's hanging. And then it's just saying knight G5. I don't care. Now, most humans do care. Okay, most humans do care. All right, so very hard move to play against this H4. Great. So, by the way, I'm not convinced it was prep. And what I mean by that is I think it might be a move that he's seen in other positions. And someone mentioned that in chat. That it's just like, I've seen this kind of thing before, I'm going to go for it. So I don't think it was necessarily something that was completely mapped out. By the way, it says we got a start in 2.5 minutes. That's perfect. We can look through this thing here. He says, oh, only draw was the Martinez game. All right, here we go. Bishop F1. King F1. Now it says we're much better. And I thought this was unpleasant for black, right? So knight F4, EF4. Now black assumes, let's say, the position here, knight D7. Okay, so chump GMs, of course, would play knight G5 here just because it looks like that's where the thing wants to go. But one of the beautiful things then about this position is white is playing really with two fronts. In the center, he's got better development. and also on the king side. So it's not just the king side. Rook d1, c6, maybe not the best move. Look at that. Actually, it says it is. c6, f5. Okay, so by the way, the computer almost always wants h5. You see there on the candidate list, knight e5. Also, it's saying white's position isn't that special here. f5, ef, queen f5. And now it's talking about queen c8, knight e5. There might be something wrong with queen c8. I didn't necessarily see it. Queen f3, and it's just, and then that's the move. That's the tickler right there. And then I'll push, and then I'll be better. Baharis, my predictions are absolutely shot, dude. I thought Gukesh was going to win this tournament. All right, here we go. Rook c8, h5. And look at that. Remember what I said? I said the computer always wants to stop it with h6. Bishop b4. And now the computer wants h6. So it's fascinating that I don't study with the computer that much, but I know how the computer thinks. It loves that bad boy on h6. It loves it. So rook h3. Snip. It didn't like the snip. And it wants h6 directly. c4, exclam. I would say that's an exclam because it shows that Sam is going to hang two problems over black. d5 as well as the attack on the king. Now I thought, something like rook c7. I was thinking queen e7, e6, something to challenge the queen on f5. He goes here. g4, rook c7, rook e3, exclam. To me, that's an exclam because it just shows we're playing for control. And maybe this is even, what it allows, I guess, is just a nice position for white. All right, it's got all kinds of different moves. We're about to start, by the way. I'm just going to change it when we get a change. a4, good simple move. King e2, nice. f4, that was a top move, buddy. Knight f8. It wanted d5. We got d5. Do we got a check? We do. Rook d4, exclam. Knight h7. Knight c4. Rook d8. d6. Knight f8. Oh, wait a second. d6. Knight e6. Rook e4. And we are now a6. Ooh, it wanted rook 4 takes e6, but this d7 is good enough. Amazing. Amazing. What did it want here for black? Check to the miserable king and then king f8, but then that's definitely pain. You guys, that was a great game. All right, we're going to turn the analysis off. We're going to go back here. And where are we? We're over here somewhere. Da-na-da-da-da-na. That was amazing. All right. So, I'm in the wrong business. There we go. Bang. Here's our game. Fix the template here. So I'm going to get rid of this little bit. That was extraordinary, man. Dude, Sam. Well, obviously the odds are on his side now. And Dubov can't play weenie chess anymore. It's time to see. If you're a Dubov fan, you got to be like, well, Dubov, it's time to show your tricks, bro. It's time to show your tricks. Yep. Okay. So, we're about to get this going here. All right. Oh, and I'm gonna try to get the live feed. Looking at the live feed anyway. I'm gonna go Shankland, Dubov, Babam. Now, before yesterday, they put a eval bar on this thing, but I'm going to post this into the chat. I can do it in the YouTube chat too. Bang. So there's the YouTube link if you want to take a gander at how the pirate is looking. Sam looks like dude, he looks like he's messed up. I'm a little messed up myself, man. Dubov always has like a calm about the kid. Yeah, big pressure game. I don't think Dubov believes in himself anymore as like, I think about 10 years ago, 8 years ago, he believed in himself as a contender for the throne. Now I don't think he actually believes that. He's here kind of as a tourist. Damn it, they're putting the eval bar on there. So I guess I'm not going to watch it too much. But even so, like just advancing to the next round, I don't know how much money it's worth. I'm not sure it's worth some. All right, we're out of here. Knight F3. So bang, bang. Knight F3 is often the kind of thing you do if you just want a game. Now the problem is Sam was going to have some kind of thing cooked up here. Sam's openings are just better than Dubov's. Dubov just wants to get a position. That's all he wants. D4 snip snap. Black has a variety of reasonable moves here. Sam might go for D5, and Sam could do a lot of different things here, but the hope of D5 is to liquidate this, to get this position and say, I'm just going to hold this bad boy. Yeah, now to my eyes, my naive eyes, E4 seems like it's an advantage for white. Small advantage, but an advantage nonetheless. So Knight F6 quickly. Yeah. So I think the argument would be white's going to play Knight C3. I'm assuming the engine would say that it's a little bit better for white, but it's the kind of position that's really, very solid for black. Well, that wasn't the solid move I was thinking of, but here we go. Sam obviously knew about this E5 thing. Bishop B5 immediately. Okay, and now if you're white, you're wondering, can I get away with some kind of Knight F5? Damn, dude, Sam's open is just better. Remember, that H4 thing that he pulled out of his butt I don't think that was necessarily even the right move order. He just knew that that was like a cool idea in these positions. So far, it looks like black is fine. And the bummer for white is white needs to find something special here, or else it's just going to evaporate into a very tepid game for white. So he's got Knight F3, Bishop D7, Knight F5. All of these are candidate moves. Bishop D7. Now, personally, I don't believe in this move that much because both Queen D7 and Knight D7 are allowing me to develop my coconuts. All right, Queen D7 played. Clearly now, Sam is going to get a queen trade if he wants it. I think we're saying already that, now I guess, this is the only move that gives us a little questions? And we don't even have to take on D1. We could play Knight C6. And on Knight DB5, we have several moves, honestly, that we could do after that. Because he's not threatening Knight C7. Honestly, I don't know. Well, in a way, I don't know what he's thinking about. Because black could do so many different things on Knight DB5. knight f3 or something, though, we got absolutely nothing then after queen d1. Absolutely nothing. So we're going to say Sam looks to me like he's won the battle of the opening. And I don't know, the black might already be better. Knight c2. That's a gross move. Okay. The intentions are for white, even though this looks bad, white does have a plan. He wants to play f3, king e2, and at some point knight e3, knight d5. Maybe with bishop g5 thrown in. So it is a game. It's not like, even if the computer said that black was better here, it's still like a game. Mistakes are going to be made. And white at least has dreams of touching the d5 square. I mean, black, of course, has his own dreams over here, too. Yeah, I would say black is fine. Good move, bishop g5. And now we could do a lot of different things. Chumps would often play castles long there, but then king e2 happens. All right, so knight d7, potentially a clever move. We're saying you can have the d5 square. We'll calmly play rook c8. We will then play f6. We'll say thank you because we want to do that too. We'll put our bishop somewhere. I would have played knight d5 for the guy. Just it's true that on knight d5 we could also play bishop d6. A little weird, but all right. Now, one reason not to play f6 here is we could also do this thing, and that comes with tempo on the bishop. Also, kind of amazingly, the knight on e6 defends the one drama point for us on c7. So king e2 may be a little fast. Again, we have almost a 3-minute time advantage. And I'll stress, people are talking about, is this Chess Space India YouTube channel in their chat. Only gays support Dubov. What? What? I don't know. I don't know if any chess player has ever won the complete respect of the gay community. I don't know. All right, Sam has a couple choices here. f6 would be the obvious one, but this knight c5, e6 thing is reasonable. Even bishop e7 you could do. There's so many different things black could play here. Notice that the knight on c2 is has one role, right? Okay, bishop c5, simple move. I think part of this move is to say, well, when I kick you and you go back to your natural square, I will say, I will take your square. I don't know. In any case, this is the natural move for Dubov now. Yeah. Oh, I'm a GM today. The reason that that's the natural move is whenever he gives us a check later, we just want to calmly kick it with f1 or e1 and not have to worry about anything. I want to say this knight d7, bishop c5 thing, it does give me a little heebie-jeebies because the bishop is taking away the square from the knight, right? So I'm not 100% on this. Sam is arguably drifting here. Okay, that's just the chump GM's perspective, is that it feels like he's drifting a little bit in this position. Why are there no gay grandmasters? Well, actually, maybe we could do a podcast about that. they're the most famous and strongest gay grandmaster, at least of somebody who was out, just recently died, and that was Robert Hubner of Germany. And okay, here we go, bishop e3. And the short answer to your question is that the Eastern Europeans are so homophobic that it would be really a problem to be gay. It'd be a major problem simply being gay for, most of chess history, even now, even now. Okay, again, I would say white is a little bit better, knight d4, king f1 or something like that. And the point is, we're just better developed, we being white. Now, does that mean that white has something special? Probably not. He probably doesn't have anything special. But here, I'd rather be white. I'd rather be white. One problem is, if knight d4, king f1, or f1 is more natural because then you don't want to deal with knight c2. Now I have a problem of where to put the king. If I put it here, I'm obviously going to get whacked. If I go here, I got to worry about weird stuff like knight b5. So black has several moves. You could castle long. Notice that my knight on d7 is a little bit unhappy. It's of course true that my knight on d4 is proud, and white can do a variety of things, but probably wants to think about killing that knight. Now, knight c5, interesting move. He is saying, I don't need to commit my king yet. I don't need to commit my rook on c8 yet. I want to force you to give me a tempo with f3, and I want the option to play knight e6. I also want the option to play king f7 next. Okay, maybe a good move. All right, big question for white. What do you do? And optically, it seems like white, if anybody, has got a little bit of zhuzh here just because it's not easy. We got more tempo, okay? But these positions, you as white, you need to find an idea. It's not so easy. So anytime you're playing knight d5, I'm going to play king f7 now. I thought knight c5 was a very nice move. Notice that was the piece that we needed to figure out. And the immediate king f7 was running into knight b5. We have got our minute time advantage back. Rook. One basic option could be, it's not the dumbest move. I'm going to predict rook ac1. If rook c8, we might get away with that and claim that we have a small advantage. That could be an annoying move, actually. Right. So on rook ac1, I think rook c8 might not even be that good. Now, I could play knight e6. That might be the simple move to play. And let's say, and just say, you know what? I'm going to play king f7 next. What? What do you want? Okay, beautiful. One of the things we can know for sure is that when we turn on the computer after the game, both sides are going to be making inaccuracies. It's just, these positions are very difficult to play. There's always hidden tactics, resources, and the computer's so much stronger than us in positions like this where it feels simple, in quotes, but it's totally not simple. From a human perspective, especially here, white needs an idea. Something to mess with, something to create pressure with against black. Oh, he's drifting down in time. Okay. I definitely, someone was talking about Dubov being a favorite. I definitely don't think it was a favorite. I thought it was a pretty equal matchup. Yeah. And we're taking him out. He's so proud of himself, talking how he can beat Prague with no prep. Welcome to Shank World, buddy. All right, we got to move knight f5. Okay, good. So as I said, dude is looking for some way to create pressure. Now, a crazy idea here from Sam is, could you get away with knight e4? And I'm going to say strongly, I don't know, but it's conceivable. So we claim that knight g7, king f7 were fine. We claim that knight d4, knight c3. There's no knight b5, and on knight e6, I could just take this thing. Okay, he doesn't do it. He plays El Safo, knight c6. Now, those positions, they were kind of hard to judge because maybe there's like knight g7, knight e4, and white does have an interesting position. Here, the claim is that knight d6 followed by this is nothing. I believe that. All right, rook ac1, as predicted. So this could have transposed. If you imagine my rook ac1, knight e6, he could have also thrown in knight f5 here. All right, my default move for black would be king f7. I'm not afraid of this because I'll ultimately have all kinds of rook b8s anytime he takes on b7. So it's a very, if you want to think about it as a philosophical thing or just, a setup, we're saying my knight on d4 is so strong that even though I'm down in development, you're not going to hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me no more. And that this knight is going to save the soul of this square. We really want to obviously get our rooks connected. So a possible move would also be castles. That introduces like knight e7 checks and stuff. King f7, you're worried about, is there some way that he can tag me on the back line? Maybe actually here's a variation we'd have to worry about. Knight takes. Now, of course, we could play pawn takes, but let's just play the natural knight takes first. Knight e2, knight takes, rook c7, and white is probably winning. All right, castle's played, perhaps because of that variation. Okay, as I said, white needs an idea. He's down 2 minutes on the clock. It's really a bummer for white because obviously he has to win. And he's the one who has to come up with an idea here. He needs some way to put pressure on the position. If we give black one move, either one of these rook moves, well, don't play rook c8, buddy. Don't do that one. All right, here we go. Knight d5. Interesting question if we're... Okay, we are threatening to a certain extent, you could argue, the penetration on the c7 square. Maybe white is better. It shouldn't surprise us because he's got the jump here. All right, maybe the basic move for Sam here is rook f7. Is there anything wrong with rook f7? I like rook f7. We should also say that white's not necessarily threatening anything right now because if you go snip and snop and rook c7, rook f7, that maybe is. No, even then I'll go back and I'll say, buddy, you're out of here. You can't. Yeah, those are some thoughts there for black. So like maybe white's not threatening anything. Rook a d8 might be a nice simple move. I don't know yet, but let's just give it a look. Knight takes, rook c7, rook f7. Now notice knight e7, we have king f8, no problemito and casito. Okay. We got knight d5 on the board. Beautiful. Almoni is saying, Mr. Jesse, did you see any kind of this position anytime? You mean, have I ever seen a position like this? Sure, I've seen loads. Now Sam is tanking. He's looking for a nice defensive idea to make sure. He just needs to make sure he's not getting his coconuts torched. And rook a d8 looks good to me. It looks nice and simple and strong. Rook f7 also looks reasonable. With these knights hanging all over the place, I'm a GM today. Now that was a little bit long on the clock for my taste. And, that's saying something because Sam, dude, he's been thinking forever on all these moves. Now, one very basic tactic that we need to watch out for is knight takes, knight e7, king f7, and now rook c7. Now, I don't believe in this at all, but this would be something we'd want to check. Maybe it could go like this. Knight b5. We're threatening this rook. Rook d8. Rook d8. This looks a little worrisome, actually. Rook b7. Part of me was thinking we could perpetual him out or something, but he always has knight c6 and chop. Okay, hold on. This is why he needed. See, it's easy for me to play that move, but this is the dirty question. Could he do this move to us? I was thinking this. I think this is the key question here. If you remember, the difference is if you play rook c7 first, then rook f7, knight e7, king f8 is absolutely nothing. So could you do this instead? Let's look at that again. King f7, rook c7. Knight b5, rook d8. Now, if I play knight c7, I'm concerned that rook d7 looks like a hell of a drug. So I gotta do this, but then he takes my nut. If this pawn weren't here, I could check him and play knight c3, but I cannot. All right, knight d4 played. Okay, so that was my big question. We have knight d4. Sam has hopefully some answer to knight e7. I don't see it yet. 97 looks strong. Now we got something from Patrick Daly saying, welcome to the dojo. I don't see no welcome to the dojo. He was saying, rook d8. He says something about rook d8, knight c6. Rook d8, yeah, also, but I mean, just basic rook b7. There's also, Patrick Daly's pointing out, knight c6 is also good. Okay, knight e7 check, king f7. Sam has an idea. I don't see it yet. Rook c7 is the only move that makes any sense here to me. What am I missing? All right, Dubov's wondering too, what is he missing? Because here we go, rook c7. I don't see it. If Sam has something here, I'd like to believe he does, but I don't see it yet. Wait, I got an idea. Could we play king e6 exclam? Rook here, rook here. Now it's still, oh, and then notice, knight c6. I take, bruv. I take, because otherwise there would be rook b7, knight d8. Oh, king e6 is what's going to happen. Rook c7, king e6. This might be a welcome to the dojo moment. Yeah, king e8. Okay, arguably similar. Chihuahua. Ay, Chihuahua. So we're claiming rook b7, rook f7, and you are cooked. Now, I don't know about, king e6 looked better to me because now doesn't he have knight f5? The answer is no, he does not, because we take, and when he takes, we take, and that's called the tempo, bruv. Damn. Ooh, king e8, tough as nails. We got to watch out for rook f7, my friends. Dang, Sam's playing some good moves. Now remember, I got to that position, and I was like, I don't like it. It was the natural continuation, so that's the one you want to look at. But I didn't see it, and Sam, I think king e6, by the way, probably also worked. But king e8, simple and strong. We are about to play rook f7 to excommunicate this folio from our business. Dun, 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 dun. That's right, Slavo. That's right. Oh, it's looking good for Sam, dude. Nice defensive work. White would love to play knight f5, but this knight f5 actually wins for black. It wins. Wow. Looks like Dubov's going down. I want to click on that thing, but I don't want to see the eval bar. I don't want to see the eval bars. I'm not clicking on the little live feed thing that they got. I'd love to see the distress of the pirate, though. I might rewind it after it's done just to see the distress of the pirate. And someone was saying like the gay dudes might be fans of Dubov, some dude in India. Maybe I could see it. You know, he's a good looking, give you that pirate look. Yeah, maybe. You know, as a straight dude, I just see a pirate. I just see a pirate, man. But, you know, maybe somebody else sees something. I don't know, you know. Okay. Here we go. The Indians are still upset at Dubov for saying they don't have girlfriends. Oh, man. Well, he went pretty hardcore. All right, knight d5. So knight d5, to my mind, okay, looks like a move where we're just saying, I lost the, I lost all my trickiness. And now I'm just keeping the game going. Black is now fully equal now. There is no drama for us, I don't think, at all. Arguably, maybe we're even arguably better just because the white king is a little bit crimped now. Yeah, we're looking good. And rook f7 was a real basic move to play. Rook c3, rook fd7, simple and strong. Now we can always play king f7 to build our position. Now the good news for Dubov would be to say, bro, I get it. I didn't go well for me. But I know that mistakes can still be made here. It's hard, though. It's hard for, like I said, white's the one who needs to find an idea. Hard to know what that idea is. Chesscom is feeding me a vid feed of Donchenko. That guy looks stressed out, dude. He looks stressed out. Okay, here we go. Natural move, rook dc1. Okay. I would say king f7 is a very simple move for black to play. Now, maybe you could make an argument white's better just because he's got the one with the files. But notice, we can always play knight c6 to block him off. King f7, very simple. Hard to know what white's going to do. And at some point, we might play f5, h4. That's just to create a little friskiness over there. Now, I'm assuming f5, f3 is what would happen. The good news for black is we're the ones who get to decide when we play f5. Now, if we were going to have drama for... I think a basic way for black to play this position, he plays h5, is at some point just to go pop and pop. That would be a real simple way to deal with this. g3. Okay, so wait. Now, one good thing about black having the king here is on f5, f3. Knight f3 would normally work, but that's unfortunately a pin. So Sam's going to be looking at f5, but the basic maneuver is knight c6 to e7. Not only conquering the knight, but conquering the d file. Sam is looking for other ways to maybe be a little bit more fancy than that. We got knight c6. I'm a GM today. Very simple moves. h5 really calm. Just be like, you know what, bud? You're a little hairy, the h-pawn. We're just going to stop him, bud. We're just going to stop him and ask you what you want to do to me. Now, if I get the d file as black, it's going to be hard to prevent the complete liquidation. All right, here we got some moves. King g2. I don't understand that move. Knight e7, knight e3, knight c6 back. Simple as chess. You're the one who has to do something. Now, I think I'm probably threatening rook d2. Again, white's the one who has to find an idea. Not so simple. Oh, Sam, buddy, you played a great tournament, dude. You are playing a great tournament. By the way, here's an interesting question. Sam's greatest achievement to date was definitely winning the U.S. Championship, in front of Fabi and all kinds of other players, okay? That was an amazing achievement. All right, rook b3. Here he's just being annoying. He's like, you know what, I'll just talk to your pawn over there. A basic move from black would be to play knight d4 and then back to knight c6. At what point, though, does this become the greatest event? I think he has to qualify in order to surpass the U.S. Championship result. The U.S. Championship result was amazing. As a chess fan, though, this is more impressive because Sam has struggled recently, All right, I'm anticipating just the very basic knight c6. And whenever you make a comeback, dude, oh, it's amazing to make a comeback. Now, Dubov's intention might be to say, if knight c6, I'll play knight d5, and at least for a momentito, I'm preventing knight e7. So is that clever? I don't know. a6. All this fancy rook stuff, by the way, of course that can backfire. That is something that can backfire. The king on g2 is kind of cool, as he prevents knight f3, but the rook on a3 was kind of preventing it anyway. At some point, knight e2 could be annoying. And since I have the draw odds, I can just bounce around there, you know. I think knight e2 now is a threat, with like rook c2, rook d2. Not a huge threat or nothing. We're not threatening to win. We're just threatening to like get project liquidation going. If Sam wins this WC, that's pretty big. Well, I think if he qualifies, I'm going to put it that way. All right, knight d5, rook d6. All right, rook d6. So notice there's no rook b3. All right, we got to move. Rook c7. We're going to play rook 8 d7. We're threatening rook takes d5 now. Probably rook c3 from dude, but that's going to allow knight d5. It's not welcome to the dojo or anything because you got rook d7, but it's like we are taking away your toys in the inevitable Tausch Machina. And white's king is a little bit offsides. All right, I'm expecting knight b5. He might have other things. He might have other things. White is not threatening anything. So in addition to the basic knight b5, you could play king e6 or something. Knight c6. Now again, we're threatening rook takes d5. And on rook c8, we have a very simple move with knight e7, getting the liquidation that we've been talking about. Very simple and strong. Rook c8, and I'm predicting knight e7 now. And that's a full liquidation right there. It seems to me that Donchenko lost. I think, did he win round one? I don't even know. So, no, he wins the match. Liam Lee was the favorite, eliminates this Donchenko dude. I think that's the end of the Germans. The Germans had a nice run. It is now over for the Germans. Okay, knight e7, simple and strong. Knight takes, king takes. We have what's known as complete equality. Maybe we can argue we're better. We can argue we're better because our king is a little bit better placed. And I don't know what you're supposed to do here. Maybe rook c2. It's saying that if you go rook d2, I'm going to play. I don't know. That's nothing though. Yeah, it is absolutely nothing now. Sam's got an amazing time advantage. We got a Twitch chat comment saying that Donchenko won the first. But anyways, I'm gonna look into the other people later. they're saying that it's gonna go to tie breaks. More tie breaks. This is the main match of the day for me. I'm also interested in Yospem, but this is the main match of the day. Rook h8, rook d2. Simple and strong. I would rather be black. By the way, David is not here today. Rook b3, that was expected. because his wife is saying no. She's saying no. Now, is this mildly annoying? I don't think so. But we do have to calculate a little bit here now. So the second the rook takes here, it's out of play. But one drama for us is we can't activate this other dude until, okay, so b5 is played, rook h5, and now rook e2. Good move. We can't play rook d2 until this guy's covered, so Sam plays b5 first. Maybe the guy should have considered rook a3. Now, one piece of good news for white is that we can at least defend the f-pawn with this guy. Okay. So maybe a good move for white would be, I don't know. If rook f5 now, we just take on e4. If rook a3, we have a choice between rook d6 just looks so simple to play after rook a3 because we're threatening this coconut. So rook a3, rook d6, rook h8, and rook takes e4. We're golden. Now he's going to try rook a8, but I think a basic move for us there is rook back to e2. Yeah. Yeah. Good sauce. Good sauce for the bows. We don't want to play rook a4, I don't think, because there'd be a check on a7, and I don't want to go to the back rank if I don't have to. I'd rather play here. I'd rather be active. Rook a8. We're anticipating rook back to e2. There might be other things we could do. But rook e2 looks very simple and strong. And if he checks, honestly, I think I'm going to give him the g7 pawn. Go up. Maybe you could do this, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Rook a4 played. Sam is playing for the liquidatio. And what is cool about this move is this move cool though? Is this move cool? I definitely think white's going to play rook a7 and give us a basic question. If we play rook d7, he can take this one. Maybe I'm not 100% on this rook a4. It's definitely a technical draw, but we're giving white a little bit of chances here. So if rook a7, king f8, I got to worry about rook c3. All right, so he's like, I'm in your face, bro. Simple and strong. He's saying, no way. He's saying, you shall not pass. Now, white did get at least a symbolic trump by getting the black king to f8. All right, we got some moves. All right, we are anticipating rook b6 or something. Rook b2, a3. And I would like to play king f7, but then rook c6 could be annoying. If I go rook b6, white could try rook c7, though there I can always play king g8, h7. So I would say black is fully in the draw range. It's a little disappointing that Sam didn't get like the full equality, the full equality, because now white can at least massage him a little bit. All right, rook b3, and that's going to force rook a4. That's a good move. So that's going to force rook a4. White plays a4 instead, and now it's simple pimple. Nice move, Sam. So notice, we have cut this dude. If he goes king f1, we'll play rook a2. Easy draw. Easy draw. King h3, trying to get a little frisky. If king f7, maybe white could think about h5 to pretend we're talking to somebody's nuts. I think black is totally fine here. G6 would be a very basic move to play, followed by king G7. The rook now cannot... Actually, G6, don't do it, because then he's got maybe rook C6. Don't do that. Whew. So, actually, let's just say the game's not completely over. Rook F3. That might be a nice move, dude. That might be a nice move. King G2, Rook A3. Oh, very nice, strong play. Sam wrote this recent book on Rook Endgames, and we've seen him play a couple already in this tournament. Very nice. It's definitely a draw, Patrick Daly, but you still gotta... It's still a high-pressure moment. All right, H5, King F7. Another move that I liked there was King G8 to H7 to H6. But we're also saying now we're telling White what he wants. What do you want? If you play G4, your king can't progress. And if you don't play G4, I'm going to strongly consider playing F5 myself. King H3. And now I can consider Rook F3 or F5. F5, King H4, I might get a little heebie-jeebie, as they say in the business. But it's always, let me just stress, like, mistakes can be made here. Dupov is doing a good job at least trying to keep it a little complicated. All right, Rook F3 back. Check to the miserable king, King G8. Maybe we should have gone to G8 in the first place, as I mentioned. Rook C2. Okay, good. Now Rook C2, we can just play Rook A3 if I want. And then that'll force Rook C4. King H7 first. So if King G4, which we got, we're going to go Rook A3, and I assume follow that by King H6. Rook B3 might be a fine move here too. E4, Sam don't play. This very... Sam, dude, he doesn't play, dude. He does not. The man does not play. Now we're saying you're pinned down to the F2 pawn, buddy. Any kind of... Black's arguably better now. Oh, that's nice, dude. That's real nice. Black is arguably better now. Amazing. Okay, here we go. We got plenty of time. Rook E2. Is this annoying? He wants a... Yeah, okay, it's a little annoying. He wants us to face... I just play King H6, bruv. King H6. So, yes, actually, look, he's saying King H6, Rook E4, Rook F2, Rook E6 is this guy's intention. And I cannot play F5. You know what I could do, though? I could play the very basic Rook H2. You take my pawn, I take your nut, and I'm fine. I'm fine anyway, but I just want to feel real good about it. All right, King H6, Rook E4, Rook F2. I think I called it Rook E6, Rook H2. If he doesn't play Rook E6, he don't have nothing. He could play Rook E8, then I have F5, and I'm totally fine, of course. F5 is our threat. No matter what, you got to stop it with Rook E6. Oh, I got an idea here for white. Rook E6, Rook H2, Rook E8. And then I think I'm going to play F5. I'll just play F5 at that point. Easy liquidation. All right, here we go. All right, Rook H2 looks good. Or Rook C2. Maybe simpler. Oh, Sam finds simple moves, bro. He's not interested in my complicated saus for the bows. Yeah. They would have... Now, this is complete liquidation. Okay, and this is interesting. He's saying, Sam, hey, are you worried about King H5, G4? Sam is not. Sam is not worried about that, bro. Okay, Rook H8. We're going to play Rook C5. Rook A5, trying to be tricky. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we got a lot of different moves here. King h6 makes sense. This is called the massage, what Dubov's trying to do here. He's trying to make a massage. Bum, 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 bum. Well, Patrick, even if black wins, it's all the same to white. That's why white can take any kind of risks for some kind of dirty trick. It doesn't matter to white if he loses this thing. He doesn't care about its rapid rating or whatever. This is the end of the line. This is the end of the line. Okay, simple moves. Oh, yeah. All right, now I'm going to look because I know what the eval bar is going to say, and I just want to see the reaction here. Sam is in deep focus mode. Deep focus mode. The engine, of course, says equal. I did not need to see that. That's why I looked. I was like, I know it's going to say equal. All right, we got rook a7 on the board. As long as we don't blunder here, we're fine. Rook c5 looks like the basic move to play. Yep, there we go. Rook c5. Dun, 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 dun. My thing is, my stream is frozen. At least I'm not seeing rook c5 on their thing. Now I'm seeing it. We got some dancing and romancing. We might as well check him some more. Dubov does get seconds when he does this. F5. Sam, don't play. Sam's not going to give you anything, brother. He's going to keep marching up. A5. Now we're going to play rook a4. This is a known momentito. A6. And now the basic plan for black would be to play g6 followed by king g5. I'm a GM today. And that was very important. Even if white somehow got his king all the way over to b3, once we win g3, we can sacrifice our rook. In fact, I think we're going to win this now. Well, black is going to win this position. Yeah, so now it's easy peasy. We're marching. Let's play g5, Sam. F3 is also fine. Yeah, we're winning this, buddy. Whoo! GG's, that's right. G5, we're winning this position. And Sam knows that he has to win this game. Now, Dubov will not accept a draw. The only thing he's going to accept is a victory. G5, yep, thank you very much. Basically, time to resign. But he's not going to resign. Yeah, he resigns, buddy. Woo! Very nice, dude. Very nice. Convincing victories, dude. Convincing victories. Dang. Dang. Whew. Very impressive, man. Very nice play. All right, let's briefly look at what's going on with these other results. All right, what do we got? So let's just go down the line. Sindarov wins. Aragaisi wins. Shanklin's in. Liam Lee, these guys are going to go to blitz. I don't care. I don't care. You guys blitz it out. Episenko's probably going to win this thing. And then Yospem. If I was going to stay and watch anything, it would be to watch Yospem. Oh, man. Holy moly. I might stay and watch Yospem, dude. Okay, but a couple things first. I just want to do a brief rundown with the engine on this game, which I thought was pretty great, dude. I just want to check some of my assumptions. So we'll make this smaller. We'll expand. There we go. We can see. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll just expand this. You don't need to see me. Yeah, I'm just a chump GM. You don't need to see me. let's do it here. So Black has, I don't believe in these accuracy things, but look at that. It says 99% accuracy from Sam. All right, CD5, knight d5. I thought white was slightly better. Yeah, e4, knight f6, knight c3, e5, exclam. So that was just another thing that Sam knew, dude. I thought here he was fine. Interestingly, it's saying knight c2 is the best move. I thought it was equal. It's fundamentally equal, but okay, knight c6, knight d7, exclam. Dude, it likes this thing. I was a little hesitant on this. Oh, look at this. He is playing gorgeous chess here. Knight ce6, rook a c1, castles, exclam, knight d5. Now the computer wanted the fancy knight f5 here. Sam played my move, which is a little bit more basic. It did allow this knight e7 thing. And remember, I was a little like, I don't know. Dubov thought he had something here too, and Sam said here, and the computer says my king e6 is fine. Actually, now it's saying king e6 and king e8 are fine. I want to stress though, you needed to. Here I found king e6. Or before knight e7 was played, but I was like, when we were leading up to this position, I didn't see necessarily the big trick here. King e8, exclam, knight d5, and now computer says we're fine. Computer says we're fine. Yeah, very nice, dude. Very nice play. Yeah, maybe white was not had some nominal thing here, but we don't care. Dude, perfect play, man. Perfect Gazurpip play. Dang, dude. Beautiful play from Sam, dude. Sam is bringing it. So, here's an interesting thing. So, Sam, dude, moved into the GM house. He was like about 18 at that point. And he was about low 2400s. And he believed in himself. No one else did, dude. I didn't believe in him, dude. I didn't believe it. But the storyline that's fascinating when you think about his career is like, of course, natural talent is a huge thing. And Sam has, you can't be at this level and not have some natural talent. But Sam definitely works very hard. And you look at a guy like Dubov, and let's just talk about Dubov for a second. He's laughing at Prague saying, oh, this guy, he's studying 20 some hours a day. He don't have no girlfriends. And I'm this pirate looking dude. And I don't have to study. I'm a badass. You're getting wiped, son. Welcome to the dojo, buddy. You ain't got nothing, buddy. Ooh, welcome to the dojo. Yeah, Dubov's obviously amazing himself. I feel though that here's the thing: you're a little later in your career, both Dubov and Sam, and the only way you're gonna make it is to even get back over 2,700, is you're gonna have to bust your butt. And Sam has been doing it, dude. Sam worked through a crisis. I don't even know what the crisis was, but some health crisis. He's keeping it to himself, which is fine. But he as a fan, like you work yourself through a crisis, dude. That's impressive. That is really impressive. Okay. People want to look at who he plays next. That's a fine question. I knew last night, but I already forgot. So we're going to go 2025 FIDE World Cup. I'm going to click on this bad boy. And I'm going to go pairings and results, tournament bracket. And here we go. Sam, so I can bring it over here. Sam is going to play the winner of Grebnev-Esipenko. And both of those guys are very strong. But I want to just say, when you think about the people Sam has taken down, okay? Rapport, Vidit, Dubov, I would say of those, the strongest would be Vidit or Rapport. And Sam is taking those down. So it's like, of course, these guys are strong. But hey, but hey. Now, the next round, oh my God, which amazingly starts tomorrow, is completely massive because if he advances, then he, at the minimum, has a shot. At a minimum. And I'm saying at a minimum because if one of the other players, but none of the players left are already qualified. So, for example, if Prague had reached this round of 4, then everybody would qualify, right? The other 3 would qualify. But nobody else on this list has already qualified. One thing that I would say is upsetting for the fans is that we have, I love Sam, but he's essentially a rando here. He's essentially a rando. Anybody under 2,700, even low 2,700s is a rando, probably doesn't belong in this tournament. Okay, so who might belong from the... So I guess I have 2 ways of being a fan about this thing, right? I'm a fan of the World Championship tournament itself. I wish it were matches, but I'm a fan of the tournament itself. And for that tournament, I want to see the best players there. But for just a fan of like the regular Joes going through here, well, yeah, it's Sam, dude, and Yospem. These stories are amazing. In any case, if I'm looking at it from the perspective of the tournament, the people who aren't randos that are left are Wei Yi, Arjun, and I'm going to also say Sindarov. Sindarov, while low 2,700s, is a young kid who is improving, and we can well imagine by the time of the tournament, he's going to be 2,750 strength, maybe higher. Nordbeck Jr., maybe also proving himself in an interesting way, you know? So those guys we could call maybe non-randos, okay? Actually, you could start making our Donchenko completely random. Like Kwang Liam, we could say he might belong there. Yeah. Yospem, no. I'm sorry, buddy. I love you, though. You don't belong there. Bentala doesn't belong there either. Maybe at an earlier stage of his career, we could have talked about it. Okay, so in any case, what am I saying? These 2 guys, one of them, they're going to knock each other out, right? And if anything, they're the ones that belong in El Tornamento. Yeah, amazing. And one bummer for Sam, too, it is like you beat Dubov and your rating didn't go up. Okay, that's maybe a mild bummer. But, you know, also with Rapport, that also went to tiebreaks. Vidit went to tiebreaks. So those games he didn't actually progress in rating. And, you know, obviously getting to this next round is way more important than the rating. But Sam, I know, also wants to make it over 2,700. And beating these chumps in these tiebreaks doesn't really do it. Okay, I think Firesnap is going to join me in a second. Firesnap, how are you doing, buddy?
Good.
Sam won, dude.
What?
Yeah, Sam won, so he's on to the next round. We might follow this dude, Yospem.
Is he 2.5?
Yeah, he's 2 point. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's 3-1. Yeah. We might follow this Esipenko game is still going on. And then we want to talk about Yospem. Where the hell is Yospem, dude? Oh, it's sometimes hard to find things here. All right, here we go. There's Yospem. So they're going to start in a little bit. I guess we'll follow that. We got this, and I'll tell you what. Well, this is just a draw, and I'm gonna turn off the engine here. But that's gonna turn into a draw. They might play forever. I think the other people need to wait until this is done, and then the next round's gonna start, and then it'll be a little bit faster.
No eval.
No eval. You want the eval?
No.
Okay, bro. I'm gonna leave you here, okay?
Okay.
You're gonna conduct the chat. I'm gonna fix my window a little bit here.
Yeah, it's looking a little.
I did that for looking at Sam's game with the help of the computer after. It's early morning here, man. The sunshine's coming out a little bit, but it ain't there yet. All right, this is Fire Snap. He's going to guide you through the next couple moments with this game. Here we go. I'll be back in a second, but this is going to be a draw, and then they're going to continue.
Okay.
You can tell them a story about roller park chess or something. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like a draw. I mean, you could push this pawn if you wanted. Oh, you could push this pawn if you wanted. Here. Da 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 da. Could push this pawn. Oh, we have enough. Okay. Looks like rook e6. Okay, looks like we're just wasting a lot of time now. Hello, Twitch chat. Okay, so it just looks like they're gonna try and push their pawns into a draw. You know, but this guy, Alexei, he's up pieces. Okay, it looks like you had a takey, take, take. Hello, Winnie. You can't be here. Big. No, G in 1975. We're not gonna do evals. Dude, this game is George Hornsby. I think Shanks should win. I don't know. I think Shanks should win. Let's check on the YouTube chat. F4 and E5. Oh, not anymore. Mr. Pizza says, okay. Another hour.
How's it going, bro? Oh, this thing's still going on?
Yeah.
What do you say? Complete draw or still got a chance?
I think the Oleski guy might get the dubs.
You think he might get the dubs? I'm saying no way, buddy. I'm saying no way. This, buddy, if this Asipenko guy loses this game, he does not deserve. He doesn't deserve nothing. F5, strong move, I saw it coming. Ah, yeah. EF, King F6, complete draw. If E5, F4, complete draw. King E6.
Sorenzo's back with the +6-7.
Who's back for 6-7?
Sorenzo Lamas. He was here yesterday when we were talking about
Minus 0.67, dude. That's pretty good. One of Firesnap's favorite things to do is like, we'll say something like, "Hey Firesnap, how much time till you get ready?" And he'll say, 6 or 7 minutes. Firesnap, how many degrees would you say it is in this house? About 67.
Lasso on this gack. I think he.
He's responding to me telling you were wrong, bruv. All right, what we're gonna do while we're waiting for this inevitable result is we gotta go and make an announcement in the dojo for achievements. And we got this achievements thing. Bang. All right, we're gonna say. Put this over here. All right, I'll just briefly put that there. And we're gonna say, congratulations. I can't even spell it's that early in the morning, but to Sam Shankland. Let's see, sometimes I got the let's go. For advancing to the next round of the world.
How many people do you think read this?
How many people read it? A lot.
Or are you just putting messages out into nowhere?
Oh, that's a good question. This is the Dojo Discord, bud. Let's see, actually, what we can say is...
I know, but there's a bunch of different...
Well, look, you can see, actually, the last one. I don't know how many people read it, but you can see how many people responded to it. We had at least, I don't know, something like 60 or whatever. Okay, for advancing to the next round of the World Cup, he beat the Pirate. I wonder, now, do I have an emoji for a pirate? Yeah, there we go. The parrot, bro, the parrot. He beat the Pirates. Duboff had insulted the Indian pride, and they were pissed. What emoji do we need here for they were pissed? How about that one right there? I got good emoji game for an old dude, right? I got good emoji game, but okay, and they were pissed. All right, so we're gonna say Sam advances.
You put the period in wrong.
Yeah, no, let's in fact forget period. And once you got emojis, you don't need periods no more. Sam advances to the next round. Okay, so he's gonna play to the next round where he will face Essie
I told you.
Penko.
I told you it was favored to white.
Favor to white?
White still has one pawn, even though it was
Oh, but that's a draw, bro. Yeah. Where you face Essie Penko. We're gonna say deep Bruce. And I will be up bright and early to cover it tomorrow. If he wins that match, he's got a great chance. How do I say great?
Just don't say.
Great. No, there's no great emoji.
No, you gotta find something good. GG, no. Yeah, no GG.
A GG for great? Let's just put a great chance. A great chance of making the... Let's just say, actually, he's got a great chance.
Your emojis are
3
so
quarters.
goofy.
3 quarters.
Did you know it's not... The kids would say it's not tough
What's not tough, bud?
to to put emojis when you're speaking? Well, look at Sam shaking him. I think he has such dad vibes.
Going to the show. All right, now we need some emojis, bro. We need that emoji. And,
2 emojis in a row.
2 emojis? You think that's too much?
Wait. You should put the. Wait. Go back.
Oh, man, what do you have?
You should put the strong arms next to the dojo so it looks like the dojo has been working out.
All right, that's good enough for me. Going to the show, let's see. Bright and early, let's put in the time. So this is going to be 4:30 Eastern time.
Make sure you put in the.
It's tomorrow.
Put in the URL.
The what?
URL.
The URL?
Like that URL.
Okay, yeah. So let's just copy and paste the URL because I'm too lazy to do otherwise.
Holy lazy man.
Holy lazy, that's right. So we'll just go.
Oh no, you messed it up, baby.
I didn't mess it up. Okay, that looks good to me. We're gonna send that bad boy. Bam. All right. Oh, here we got an interview with Sam. Hold on.
That's what I was just
Where?
saying.
I gotta expand it. How come I don't got the sounds,
Because
bro?
you don't have your sound on because you're streaming.
No, but where's my sounds? I missed it. This is some chump. I don't want to hear that guy. All right. Anyways, maybe we'll figure that out somehow. All right. So they're gonna play soon-ish. By the way, that was the Discord, the Dojo Discord. If you want to join
Me?
the Dojo, I mean, this is the plural you, but.
Okay. Everybody here,
Yeah, listen up.
if you want to join, this is the place to do chess.
That's right. Fire snap, dude. So if you use code GOA when you sign up, you get 20% off the first month. How about that, bud?
20%.
20%, bud. Not 67%. 20% still pretty good.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. You can't even help him with his advertising anymore.
We got a question for you, bud. Do you play chess?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. He's a little afraid of losing, so he hasn't been playing that many tournaments.
That's not true.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm in the chess team. I'm literally wearing the shirt, and we go to a tournament like every Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, but you're not playing online that much because you're worried about your rating. You know.
No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I lost like 40 points last week, I think.
Anyways, what would you say of your ratings? You're playing Elite Chess and USCF, right?
And just a couple.
And of these latest tournaments, well, actually, let's go look you up, bud, while we're waiting for this.
It's so bones because it's from when I was 5.
Oh, you were
Remember?
five. You weren't quite 5, bro, but you were younger. All right, let's go.
Cry. Jesse P. Cry. Jesse Cry. Marin.
Don't say your name online. Your mom would be upset. I don't think I really mind, but your mom would want all these chumps knowing who your name is at a young age.
You guys chumps.
Okay. So, yeah, you got a quick rating over here. Yeah, his rating is low, my friends. I will say he's better than that. He's got a rapid, quick rating of 529. And in 2024, he played a Scholastic Championship and got a partial rating of 322. He's definitely stronger than that. That's what I'm saying, bros. You need to play more tournaments, but
I do one every week. The last one, unfortunately, last week was unrated.
because that was like a Fisher random thing or Chess 960.
That was a Chess 960.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is,
All right. Do we got games? This one is heating up. Yospem.
It's not heating up at all.
No, it's heating up. It's getting ready to go.
Do they have 10 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock?
Exactamundo. 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So it's just a little bit faster than the last one.
Just a little bit faster
Just
than
a
an
little bit
hour,
faster.
2 hours.
And then we got it in the corner of our eye. We're watching Donchenko play Liam.
Not the eval.
No eval. No eval. The board is heating up, but the pieces are cold.
So some corny chess rep.
That's right. That's right, Lasanakaskak. He won the Louisiana State Championship. Take it easy on him. All right. It looks to me like Domchenko has already started his game, but Yospem has not. Am I interested in other games? No, I'm just interested in the Yospem. But I'm in the corner of my eye while we're waiting for the pieces to heat up. I'm watching this other thing going on. You know what we're gonna do, bud? We're gonna go over here. Oh yeah, that was. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna rewind this. We'll see a little bit. Oh yeah, this was the key moment where, if Dubov was gonna have anything, he was gonna have something. And I thought King E6, and then King E8 is what Sam actually did. Both of them were good. But that was the key moment where, like, maybe Dubov was hoping like he had a little something something. Did he have a little something something? No, he did not. Nope. All right. To me, it looks like on the vid feed that Yospem is playing. However, on my business here, I don't see it happening yet. So it could be that my pieces are more delayed than the vid feed. Looks like what I'm going to call a stable position from Yospem, but a little bit, I can't see it that good. I guess I could expand this thing. Do I want to? Not really. I want this to come here. All right, in any case, can we, can we see this thing? Well, we can kind of see the position there.
How are the peeps supposed to see Jose?
I don't know. I'll tell you what.
The chit chat.
This is what I want to do. We want to go Martinez, Hari Krishna. We'll see if we get this as a YouTube feed too here. There we go. There's our YouTube feed.
There's an eval.
Now, there is an eval bar, so we don't want to look too much. But I want to go escape now. Over here, escape. Where's my... Oh, bro. Okay, where is my game, boss? Yo, Fide, where's my game? I'm trying to follow this. See, it just says it's not starting yet. They are blowing it big time. Something's wrong with the feed, man. Something's wrong with the feed. All right. Oh, it's showing me the eval.
Sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. All right, we're just gonna bring this in for a second.
No! Nobody look.
We're just gonna bring it in.
Guys, you can't look.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. Now, I just want to say the eval is showing white a little bit better, but to my mind, it's just an equal position. Maybe like some kind of bishop b3. I called it. I'm a GM today. Actually, this is... Oh, it's not showing you because I have to actually manually put it in here. If somebody could tell me when the board actually starts working, that would be cool.
Why do you have Moobot deleting links on your chat?
I don't think we do the MooBot. It's like that's just a thing where some Twitch setting doesn't allow people to put... Oh, I see what it's saying. It's giving me a worthy link, though, because it's saying the lead chess, we can click this, has it. Oh, okay, there we go. There we go. Somebody's on top of it. Thank you very much.
Kitty cat.
All right, now, is my screen set up to watch this good? Now, unfortunately, we don't have the pictures or anything. That's fine. We'll just...
5-card draw says
We'll
you
just
should...
go over here.
5-card draw has a valuable point.
Now, here's a hilarious thing. We're mildly affiliated with chess.com, and they sometimes pitch a fit if we show Lee Chess. But bro, if your business ain't working, we're following Lee Chess. Right, buddy?
Yeah.
Right.
It's the 2 starting levels of my name.
All right. All right. So I would say maybe our, I don't know, Rook C8, I think we're fine. He plays Rook B7. The reason why Rook B7 is mildly controversial is we need an answer to Rook D4. That answer might be Knight D5 though, because we are threatening Knight F4 followed by Bishop G5. Oh shoot, back to live mode. But Rook D4, Knight D5. It might be hard to defend our coconut over there. All right, White's thinking about it. Our hero Yospem has more time. I'll just check. Yeah, chess.com has totally lost it on that feed. No one knows why. Rook D4, the most challenging move. Now, I was anticipating Knight D5 now here for black.
Chess lover Shank crushed. Dubov. It's crazy.
Thank you, chat, for turning us on to the lead chess thing. I don't know what's wrong with the chess tom. I'm a GM today. I predicted Knight D5. There's a drinking game going around the dojo, Firesnap, and it means that the game is that anytime I say I'm a GM today, you got to take a drink.
I'm good.
You're good, buddy. You don't want any part of that, dude? You don't want a part of that?
What part of drink?
Oh, I don't know.
Like a really gross drink?
Yeah, some kind of alcoholic drink. You'd have to take a shot every time I say I'm a GM today. Okay, so let's say
Shots lying around.
let's say obvious things. If the bishop moves away from this diagonal, at the minimum I can cover my pawn. If it stays on the diagonal, let's say bishop G3, I got a couple interesting moves. A basic one would just be to play C3 myself. So I think black is in full control here. I'm going to say black is in full control after Knight D5. All right. Yeah, I think Yospem's doing fine. By the way, I just want to be clear now Lee Chess is a criminal actor with the evals too. Like, so unfortunately on the screen I'm watching, it's showing both tiebreak games and it's insisting on showing me the evals. I don't even know how I would take it off because it's a default setting they have for showing the tiebreaks.
Why don't you just show them the board?
I am. I'm just showing them the board.
Okay, great.
But I'm just saying, for me, I just need, I can see that thing.
I thought you were a GM today, though.
I am a GM today.
So
No, Lasanok, I can't because it's on the left of this board, and it's not something that has settings. It's just like a thingamabob. I've taken it off the board itself, but it says tiebreak 2, rapid 1. I can't change those settings.
Oh wait, Cute Kitty Cat is who helped us with the link. The link for this.
Okay, but Cute Kitty Cat, I'm not talking about the board itself. I'm talking about the thing on the left of the board.
No, there's a button that you can. Oh, click this. Click that.
Oh, you're a genius today, Cute Kitty Cat.
Thank you,
bud. Thank you, bud.
Thank you so much.
Jesse ist ein Großmeister heute. Okay, so as predicted, because I'm a GM today, I said if the bishop moved away, we would have rook c7. Black is completely fine in this position. So notice, maybe white had some symbolic advantage according to the computer. Now white is drifting into perhaps slightly uncomfortable territory because we got bishop f6 as a thought coming up. Of course, we can just castle. Is the knight off sides? It looks a little off sides.
Oh my God, the chat is coming in.
Yeah. If Firesnap wasn't here as the dojo's technological consultant, I would have never believed that, dude. I would have been So you saved us, bud.
I got you. It was all cute kitty cat, though. Thank you for that.
All right, bishop a5. And rook c6 would be our default move, but probably we could play
For other games up there.
bishop f6. Yeah, but we don't. I'm not interested in that Donchenko game. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I'm just following. I got two people I'm interested in. I got Sam, and I got this Yospam dude. All right, so bishop a5, I don't think really changed anything. White still has to contend with bishop f6, and I like black. Dude, I like black in this position, though I think it's probably maybe, well, I don't know. I just like black. The bishop, if knight c3 now, I have bishop f6. In the other position, I could have played knight c3, bishop f6, knight b5, and said I had equality. Here, I don't know. I don't know if white's equal anymore. Maybe rook e1 from white would be a tricky move. Dude, but also, can we just say, boss, isn't that a threat in the pet? And the rat?
Holy.
White might have missed that. Now he plays knight c3. And now the default big question is, why isn't bishop f6 an advantage for black? Because you will move your rook. I will take here. You'll have double pawns. Then I will castle, and I'll be better. Now maybe we got something better than bishop f6. But bishop f6 certainly looks like a nice move.
There's the round button next to the board. Disable it. Mouse. Wow. The YouTube chat is locked in. Actually talking about chess.
Yeah. So we got bishop f6, rook d2. Imagine it going this way. Knight c3, bishop takes. By the way, you cannot play rook d2. No lo puedo. So that's actually gone. So hold on. We're going to go back. Rook c6, knight c3, bishop f6. That means, why did I want to go to rook d2? So that I would have this opportunity. This opportunity down. I will. I'm just saying, that was el problemito. He says check first, which maybe I'm not down with. Maybe I'm not down with. Hold on.
Don't you just go F4?
4 no lo puedo because the bishop takes f4.
And then.
So he will play king b1 here. I mean, king d1 is a thought. That's
Okay,
kind of
I'm
weird.
gonna say king b1.
Okay, my friends, I understand the intention. The intention is when you go to king b1, I'm going to body slam you bishop f6. I'm going to take this thing, and then later I'm going to check you with a rook on b8. So let's go this as a sample variation. King d1, bishop f6, rook d2, knight takes, bishop takes, pawn takes. Let's go king e7. Now that would be the move to scare me, but then I'm going to say, pap, check to the miserable king. And I'm arguably better here because I got them pawns all messed up. Maybe it's nothing special, but I got something. So I had a similar idea with bishop f6, and now dude's tanking on whether he goes to d1. Now the problem with d1 is that your rook can't go to d1 no more.
Your rook.
So we could still do our bishop f6 trick. Back to live mode. All right, is that... Oh gosh, I can't. This Leech chess, I'm a little bit unfamiliar with the back to live mode. I don't understand. Because see, it's sending, when I hit live mode, it sends me to rook d2. But it also has it, let's refresh. Sometimes, oh, here we go. So here's what happened. Bishop f6 as predicted. Rook d2 as predicted. Bishop takes c3. Now this might be a mild improvement on what I was saying. No, it's the same thing. We transpose. I'm anticipating king e7, and I will say it, Firesnap. I will say it.
What?
I'm a GM today.
Yeah.
We don't want a castle because we don't want our... Oh, I'm a GM. It happened so fast. King e7, rook hd1, rook b8. We don't want a castle because we want our king to be active. We want it to tend to the invasion square. And I think here white's definitely under pressure. My instinct for white would definitely be maybe king a1. I know it looks bad, but with the intention of playing rook b1 next.
Mr. Patrick Daly always has had some interesting thoughts, so let's look at what he says.
King c1, okay. Now I like this less because now there's no rook b1 later. So now black can choose whether he likes that rook or this rook to defend the d7 threat. I think it's obvious. We like the rook on b7 much stronger because now I'll be threatening rook here and rook here with a coconut taste. Yeah, rook.
Samari Karish just says, bro, Hari is kind of cooked. Hari cooking.
All right, big moment for our hero.
E5 check.
By the way, he's got a nice time advantage.
Where's what, Mr.
And a basic move here. Oh, he plays the defensive move. I like that less. I thought rook a6 was real interesting, but okay. The story of this move is different. It's like maybe I'll play rook a6, but also at some point I might want to play e5 and say, you know what, buddy? I've got basically an extra pawn because your pawns are chumps.
So, are we going to look at the faces?
It's going to show us the eval if we look at the faces. I know.
Lee Chess probably has it without eval.
All right, should we go back to this thing? All right, we'll go back to this one. I like the lead chess thing. I don't mind. A lot of people think I don't like lead chess or something. I think the lead chess is fine, but I am kind of used. The old man is used to this interface. We're just gonna go back. I like the little picture too. I like to where the times are. But it's all. I'm not prejudiced against lead chess. A lot of people think I am. I don't care. And chess.com doesn't treat us well enough for us to have true loyalty. If they treated us better, then maybe it would be. I would have more loyalty. I would have more brand loyalty. They don't care. They don't care.
Somebody in the chat really wants King B1 for some reason.
All right, we got some moves. Rook A6. Both sides will be making mistakes here.
Rook E1.
Okay, so this rook BC7 on move 29 was a little soft. White plays G4. Black definitely still is the one pressing because black basically has an extra pawn over on that side of the board. G5. Now, black can always play rook B7. That's the bummer for white. You can always do rook B7 whenever he wants. If he needs to gain time, you just play rook B7, rook C7. F6, simple move. It doesn't really change anything, F6. Maybe we could conceive of playing E5 at some point in the future. Yeah. A3. Okay, so A3 says, hey, if you play rook B7, I'll play king A2. Okay. It's also trying to say that the rook on A4 is a chump, that he's off sides, that he ain't doing much. Rook C6. Does this change anything? I don't think so.
Jose Martinez.
Jose, bud. Jose. And his name is Yospem. Yospem, you guys probably know, but Firesnap, I don't know if he knows, so I'm going to tell this story, came from Peru, lives in Mexico now. I think he has a sponsor in Mexico, so he's transferred his federation there. He has been one of these players that came up in the internet age and got very good at playing online blitz. At one point, very recently, Kramnik, amongst the many people he accused of cheating, he accused Yospem of cheating. They had a match, and Yospem did fine in the match.
Did he win?
I think so. And they even had 2 matches.
Chat.
You know,
Chat will know.
the chat always knows. Anyways, so really cool story, especially in light of the Naroditsky thing, because you know, that was just so nasty with the Naroditsky thing. Now e5, rook e4. Oh my God, that's fancy. So let's just look at this. Rook e3. It looks like he's threatening here, but the problem is now if you do move this rook, then I'm going to go check to the miserable king here, and then I'm going to say here, and I'm going to start chomping.
Each one match.
I'm going to start chomping. Rook e4. That does not look correctamundo to this old timer. I would say king e6 is his default move. Each one won a match, yeah.
Voldemort behaved like a tool both times.
Kramnik, that is. That's who they're talking about. So, there's so many reasons that I like this guy's story, Yospem's story. That's one of them. Also, I've had Mexican friends, chess friends all my life. They've never had a hero. South America in general has not had a chess hero for a long time. So they are pumped, dude. If you watch a Spanish stream right now, they're screaming, bro. They are pumped up.
Remember the world tournament from last year when Gukesh won and all the Indians were in that room screaming?
Yeah, that was a great scene, man. So he's calculating king e6 here. He's also calculating rook b6, king a2, rook a6, but that's messy. Once you allow white to take here, that's messy. All right, so he plays rook c8. Do I understand this move? Maybe. The intention might be to say, when I play king e6, I don't want you to be able to play rook d8.
We got a dojo member.
Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Now that's, by the way, that's really cool. I don't know what that means, but do you know technologically what that means when it's this new thing? I've never seen this green thing.
Well, a dojo member has joined. A new dojo member.
But this is YouTube, and I don't know what it means to be a YouTube member. Welcome to. Oh, I want to tell him welcome. Welcome to the dojo.
Go in the chat, man.
But I want to give him like a huge shout out. Like I want to say.
Put user
in timeout. I don't want to put him in timeout. And I can't spell his name. Thank you, Cats. I'm going to call him Cats.
It's Katsparok. It's a joke. But it's Katsparok.
Oh, he has a question for me. You talk a lot about Polgar Mate's book. What about the Polgar Middle Games and Endgames book?
Oh. There.
Why do you do Kalinichenko and not Polgar Endgames? I don't actually have a lot of experience with the Polgar Endgames, so I can't talk too much trash about it.
I'm liking the I'm liking the 564.
This is a nice move, by the way. I'm going to get to the question. I just want to get to rook d5 for a second. This is a cool move that might have been underestimated by black, because now if you play king e6, I'm going to play rook b5. And if you check me and then play king e6, I am going to play rook c5 and touch your coconut.
That's what's up.
All right, rook a6. Now, if I'm white, I play rook b5. I'm a GM today.
Can we check Twitch? See
Yeah.
the chats.
I love the Kalinichenko book for higher rated players, like myself, but that's very hard to get, so I don't recommend that book, right? So we only, at the dojo, one of the things is we're not just looking for good content to recommend, we're looking for accessible content. So we do not recommend the Kalinichenko book because it's just too hard to get. For the lower cohorts, what we're recommending is the Silman books. And then also we are looking, hold on. And then for the higher cohorts, we have, for the technical end games, we have the Dvoretsky books. What's up, bud?
You want a tea refill?
Yeah, buddy, let me get it. Oh, you're great, bud. Boom, thank you very much, man. Oh, you're a good helper, bro. We got to turn that heat on for you so that you don't freeze because you don't have your shirt on, buddy. You should get a shirt.
I am wearing a shirt.
You go, you shirtless sleeves. All right, Chad, I got a question. I've never seen this thing that Katz did for us where we have a member. I've never seen that before. It's a new thing for me. So I would, if someone could explain to me what that means, that would be really cool. Oh yeah, okay. YouTube is evolving, and okay. By the way, White is definitely making a comeback here. White is definitely making a little comeback. Rook b4. I think a good move for White here would be a4, intending king a3. So one thing I'm happy about YouTube evolving is that Twitch is dying. Twitch is clearly dying. Dojo started off doing a bunch of stuff with Twitch. Back in the day, you couldn't even do live stuff with YouTube. So Twitch is dying, and it would be cool if YouTube took over. You know? Twitch did some annoying things. All right, Black is now saying, you know what, I'm just going to hang out here. Maybe we still have a claim to being better, like we could play f5 someday. No, I think White has just fundamentally recouped his position. Patrick Daly says, it's like a Twitch sub. They give you money, you can give them special content. Okay, I'm going to look into it, dude. I am ready as somebody frustrated with Twitch and a little bit frustrated with YouTube because, you know, let's put it this way. We get something like 15,000 to 20,000 views per 48-hour period. So let's say 7 to 10,000 views a day. And we don't get any money, dude. I mean, we get a touch, but we pay more money in production of the videos than we do that we're making. Kasparov said, I didn't even understand, by the way, the pun until I looked at it now with Kasparov and Kasparov. It's early in the morning. And it says, it wouldn't let me post a question without joining. Okay. I'm learning things. Thank you, though, Kasparov. I'm going to look into the member thing just to understand it. To me, it's a totally new thing. I'm into it. And if we could produce like this thing about special content, I would love to be able to produce special content for YouTube for people who are willing to pay a little bit extra. Okay, we got h5 on the board. That is very frisky. And a default move for White would be h3, but then you got to be a little concerned with the rook h8 thing. All right, dude takes. Now it's going to get spicy. We now have rook h3 on the board. White is saying, you know what? Bro, I'm on a roll. Now, to me, the big questione would be g4, rook h4, king f5, and then maybe I can play h3 to get out. So maybe king f5 first, intending g4, king. There goes king f5. I'm a GM today. Yeah, good move. This taking business might have been a little frisky from White. Because now our king is active. All right, rook b7. Let's see what White intends. I think g4 looks like an advantage for Black. Maybe I'm missing something, but g4 looks good. There's no rook h4 because of king g5. And if you go back like a sad person, well, I guess it could go, I play rook h5. He plays king g4. Maybe just as strong. Okay, I'm liking black again. I'm liking black again. All right, Kasparov, thank you, bud. So, king f4. Now we're looking at rook a7, rook h5. I like black. His king is better. Now, black does want to do something now. My g4 move, honestly, I'm starting to maybe feel like that was better than the king g4. It's a little bit hard for me to touch his coconuts now. All right, here comes f5. a4 could be a default move for white. Rook f7 if you're worried about something. a4, here we go. I'm a GM today. Black is the one who needs to find an idea. He's thinking. I think white's okay now. Let me just go back briefly. Am I right that g4? G4 was better, man. G4 was better. All right, we're in this position now. G4 would have prevented this h3 thing. All right, rook h6. Clever move. Clever move, and so he is claiming that on a5 I have rook a6. However, there is rook g7 at any point here. So if I'm white, I want to maybe play like rook g7, force a trade on g6, and then play king b2 and say, what? Who's better now? Yo spem. Because my king is going to come start talking to the party. And at the minimum, I'm going to get good counterplay. All right, so I think king d2, I don't like that move. Let's call that a slightly passive decision. And now e4. Simple building move. Simple building move. Potentially annoying could be rook f7. Now, here's the thing about a5. I can always play rook a6 and I will win that coconut. So rook a6 is going to be the safety call for me if I want it. I believe that white should be fine-ish. Fine-ish. There's a little bit of the ish going on in that fine. Rook a6. Okay. So if rook takes, we're saying black is better. So white would want to maybe play either rook g7 or rook f7. Rook f7, I had that on my agenda because rook g4 takes is a thought. Now, yeah, that's the thought. But rook a5, protecting this coconut. Rook g4, takes. All right, here we go. We're anticipating rook g4. I'm a GM today.
I think I made you the most delicious looking tea.
Thank you, bud. Oh, and you made yourself a very nice bagel.
Yes, I did.
You're getting good at this tea stuff, bud.
Buddy.
Don't you wanna? I got a blanket there for you, bud.
You didn't put that there. I put that there.
Don't you? Aren't you cold though, bud?
No, that's...
You're not cold.
I'm gonna put it up, but I ain't cold.
I don't even have the heat on in here, bro.
Now, if I were wearing shorts, buddy.
All right, here we go. Rook a5, king e2. So what was that about? He was concerned about rook g4, king f3. It looked very scary, so he missed that.
Huh, it's been a while.
Rook c7, and now rook a2. Black is definitely on top here. There is no questione about it. Black is on top.
Our boy is winning.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Lightweight.
it's the 3 lines going up, which is the 3 lines going over. That's their flags.
I don't see any other move besides king d2 here. Yeah, king d2 seems like the challenging move for us to face.
Okay, bounce.
King d2. It's the challenging move.
For you. You could always go rook g4.
I'm seeing some crazy ideas. Here's a crazy idea. If king d2, back,
Yeah.
rook c4, check, king c1, check, here, and there's no defense against mate, bro, because the rook's in the way of the escape square. He can't get out because his rook's in the way. It's mate coming. Let's see what happens here. He allowed rook take c2, and now black is definitely on top of the business. This looks winning to me.
Duh, winning.
That's right, buddy. Duh, winning. Okay, wait, it's not over yet. He's got HG, rook g4, rook h3.
Does Twitch chat have to say?
What does the Twitch chat have to say? All right, here we go. Donchenko's coming to Charlotte right after this. Well, I don't think he's going to come if there's going to be a lot. That's going to be a big tournament. Who's going to Charlotte, Firesnap? Who else is going to Charlotte that you know? Mm-hmm. Ooh, look at this move, you guys. Look at this move. Check to the miserable king. Forced. Ooh, look at that. The same, remember the mate on the other side? Look at this mate, bro. Oh, welcome to the dojo. Rook f3, king g4, here, resigns. It's mate. Welcome to the dojo. Dang, that was good, Yospem. Some good chess, Yospem. Who else is going to Charlotte, bro?
What do you mean?
That you know personally?
4.
For a big old tournament. Charlotte, where this guy Donchenko's coming, Sevion's coming, all kinds of other big-time players are coming.
I think our chess team is going there.
No, your team isn't going there. You're going to local events, bro. Charlotte's in North Carolina. It's going to be a big old event called the U.S. Masters. Who do you know that's going? No. Who else do you know might be going, bud? Who else do you know?
You're just going to say no.
No, I'm asking you a question. Who else do you know is going to that big-time event with all those GMs? Chess lovers saying 50-plus GMs.
You?
Yeah, buddy. I'm going. I'm getting a vacation from you is what I'm getting. There we go. A vacation from Firesnap. Kosya's going too. Clutch easily is talking smack about Yospem trying to become the next Abasov. Cruel. All right, let's go back here. So, basically, we got one more game. Jose just needs a draw in the next round. Do we have any active games?
Yes.
Let's go. Only active games. We got this Donchenko chump.
Dumb Chenko? Or that should be our nickname for Dumb Chenko. Get it?
I didn't understand King C2 played there immediately. All right, let's just go back a second.
No, I'm sorry.
Bishop F8. Bishop C7. I see. Oh, it's King F. Oh, my mind was all messed up. King F7. I get it. He wants to play King E8, King D7. And the basic calculation would be D6, King. Excuse me. King, 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 not King. And then that's called outside the... Do you see this little box, bro? The king needs to be inside this little thing, and you can see he is outside of it. So king e8, that is why d6 no lo puedo.
Looks like black is winning. William is winning.
Isn't Donchenko playing black?
Nope. Oh, yeah.
Dude, Donchenko, that would be the next to boss off. Here we go. We got some moves. Bishop h4, bishop e7. Now, this is not easy to win this thing, for sure. We can play g3, though, so that means we're winning, actually. If we can play g3, we are winning. Winning.
Duh.
Yeah. I think g3 is winning. Let's go do something fun, actually.
Yay.
U.S. Masters, Charlotte. That's going to be a strong event, dude. Maybe the strongest event that ever has been held in, somewhere in here is the pre-registration list. Pre-registered list, bam. So here we go, my friends. We're just going to stare at this a second. Let me make sure you can see it in my little business. So, oh, that's a good screen capture. We got a Wonder, 2,700 plus. Sevion, 2,700 plus. Zhang, around 2,700. This chump Donchenko, who's playing right now. Now, yeah, we got Bortnik. That guy's amazing. This guy, Vietnam. This guy, Jianzhu, I've played that guy a bunch of times. He's beat me in a couple games that really hurt me. I need revenge. Benjamin Bach. This dude.
You're playing these people?
Yeah, bro.
Dang, bro.
I'm taking him on. Ilya Nizhnik. That guy's super strong, and he's in seed number 18, bro. Tanguy Rengoir. I haven't seen that guy in a long time, so there might be some old friends I'm seeing. David Brodsky, that guy's amazing. Praveen Balakrishnan, that guy's amazing.
Well, I'm sure me and
Dude,
the
this
chat
is
will watch
Shabalov is playing, bro. Sergei Ehrenberg, that guy's amazing. Mackenzie Molnar, I haven't seen that name in a long time. Yeah. Carissa Yip is playing. Magesh Pankanathan is playing. That guy's amazing. Bruv. Julio Becerra is playing. That guy's amazing. Evan Park. We got, dude, Fishbine's playing. We had him on our podcast. Jesse Cry is playing. Dude, my rating has sunk, by the way.
69.
I'm not ashamed though to play.
Number 67.
Imagine I was 67, that's right.
So close.
69 was the Gen X number. That was our number.
That was your guys' number.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I have never played in an open tournament where I was this low of a seed. Even though, let's just imagine, I used to be back at 2,500. Let's just see,
Billions.
even here, when I was 2,500, I wouldn't be a 28th seed. So this tournament is lit, bruv. This tournament's lit. And then also, actually, we got Kostya's down in here too. He's number 77 seed. John Ludwig, that's a name I haven't heard forever. That guy was strong back in the day. He became a Christian or something, did some other things with his life, but he's coming back. Super strong tournament.
Been doing that chess puzzle.
A lot of women too. I think there's going to be a women's prize, and you know what else there is, bro? They got a senior prize, bro. I can get some money there, bro.
You old man.
I'm an old man. That's right, man. Dang. Okay, let's see if we got this game started. No, this thing's still happening. This is our current position. We're going to say black is winning. However, it's a little tricky because basically the king needs to approach the pawn to force it to go to d6. However, I just think we got this thing. We'll go king c7 sooner rather than later. King b6 will threaten. See, it's kind of No. Black. No, he can never play d6 because we just play bishop takes d6. So we're just going to go to b5 and then to c4, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So Danchenko's going to be up. So like Yosfem, he just needs to draw odds. And both of them, we're going to have white. I know, chess lover. I know, buddy. I know. But you know what, chess lover? I won the U.S. Senior Open this year, so I qualified again to go back to St. Louis. But this is resignable here. But he's not resigning yet. King c4, game over. Time to resign. King e4. So g2 is automatic, but bishop d6 is also a simple move. Bishop d6, keep it simple. It's time to resign. Amazing. I played Larry C last time I was there. Had a nice victory. Larry C, dude, is somebody like, you get older, it's harder, man. You get older, it's harder. All right, that is over. So I'm going to take a potty break, and we are going to, let's go over here, and we're going to click on to the next. Well, the next game should be showing up pretty quick here. It's not showing it up, though. These chumps, huh?
I'll be here on chump duty.
You'll be here on chump duty? Okay, cool. Wait a second. All right, let's find it so you're ready to go when they go. So we are looking at, bruv, Sevian is out. Sevian's going to be at that tournament. All right, so it's going to show up here, bruv, and then you just click it when you're ready. If it might be a couple minutes before it goes.
This is what we're looking for, guys. Look at what everybody's saying. Yes, Kasparov. He does need to get his friends, his only friends, into that GM title. Still no game, Mr. Ballas.
Still no game? Well, how about I'm going to tell them a story. How about that?
Okay.
You give us a little scooch, bro, and I'll tell them a story. You can help me tell the story. So, let me tell you, everybody, about some drama that's going on at the Roland Park chess team. Yeah, let's talk about that, bro. So, there's this dude there who's apparently the top player. His name is Oscar. Isn't that right? Or Oscar? Oscar. That's the way the Hispanics pronounce Oscar. And we're going to be Hispanic pronunciation today because Jose Martinez is playing. Oscar's a weird name to be popular in Latin America because it's originally like a Viking name originally. Oscar. In any case, Oscar didn't believe Firesnap that, he knew a GM, right? And he even had the temerity to say, you don't know him because you don't know how tall he is. Is that true, bud?
Yeah, we were playing a video game, and he was like, how tall is he and what is his age? And the Google was like, he's like 5'3", and his kids still live in California.
Oh, yeah, that was all wrong, yeah.
So outdated.
And so what you should have said is that my height was 6'7". That's what you should have said, bud. That's what you should have said. All right, we might get this going on here. So anyways, here's what I'm thinking, though, Firesnap, is you show them this vid of you hanging out with me.
That's what I'm thinking, but you
Yep.
keep saying D's nuts, so the computer, my school computer, blocks it.
Get out of here, bud.
Yeah, because it's too profane.
Get out of here, buddy. What about even like on the YouTube?
Yes.
Dang.
Only on the YouTubes. Twitch
Does
is-
it and do you
Twitch is
know it's
blocked.
that, or is it just because they're curating your content, bud? Like is
I
it
know it's that. It's
is it-
it's because it says.
Well,
it
you
is
just
prof-
said it. You just said it, and we might have been able to make it through this stream without that being the case.
It says there's too much profanate language.
Dang, bro. We're not a family show?
Not a
Dang.
not PG.
Because I was thinking you could show them that vid and you could say,
That's what-
"Welcome to the dojo."
Yeah,
That's
that was my idea. So many people just got ear blasted by you saying that. Welcome to the dojo. We were wearing headphones. We're sorry.
Now, do you know what that kid's last name is?
Mohapatra.
Oh, wait. You can't actually say it online because then there are some parents who get really upset
Gosh dang
about
it!
that.
Not these chumps.
Okay, but this is what we're going to do. We want to go look him up,
You
bro.
chumps on YouTube and Twitch.
See, they didn't understand how to spell that name anyway. But so what we're going to do is I'm going to have you type in
I'm
that
gonna
guy's
show you.
last name, okay? And then we're just going to see his rating to see how much higher he is than you. And then we're going to talk about what you need to pass this chump by. And then after that, we're going to look at this game, which looks like a Caro from Pentala.
Who's got it?
There, you hit fine. Oh, there we go. So he's got a rating of 978. Let's go click on this dude. I think you could.
No, that's what his middle name was.
Don't say it. Don't say it online.
I'm
People
not
get
gonna say it.
upset.
I'm not gonna say it.
So let's see. He's made good progress. He's out at 978. Pretty good, dude. Pretty good. I think. I'm trying to guess where you are. I'm gonna guess your strength might be around 800, 900 at the moment. You could easily, if you practice some, you could easily get up there though, bud. If you followed the dojo training program.
I'm following your waning program. Skibby.
The profaned dojo. Fire Snap's rating, he's like 311, but that was like
But
that's a
it's be-
partial rating. It's a partial rating.
Because
Yeah.
it was from a while ago when I was cheeks at chess.
All right, so here we go. When you're black and you're down, you need to take some risks. And that's what black is doing here. Bishop e3, of course, d5. Now, also as white, though, you don't want to necessarily go for it. d5 would be my guess about the, let's say, objectively correct move. He goes bishop e3. We're anticipating knight d4. You could probably play bishop d4 here, too. But knight d4 is, let's call it the conventional move. Now, black is hoping for knight f6 followed by knight c5 is going to give him sufficient play. And that h3 in this position, especially if you have to end up playing f3, isn't really what you wanted. So despite the opening being nasty for white, black has managed to come out of it reasonable. Now, in general, we don't want the bishop on d4 because that's our good bishop and we don't want to trade it off. Okay? Conceivably, black could have taken the thing too. Now, e5. So what is dude doing? He's trying to liquidate the position. We're going to anticipate from black here either queen b6 or queen a5. Black, I think it's fine, by the way. I think black is doing fine. On queen b6, we have queen a4 trying to liquidate some more. And on queen b6, we have queen b3 going for the Tausch Machina, the liquidation.
My a6, c5 is the plan. I'm a GM to
Katsparov as you got to help Kostya get that GM title. Take him to the sweatshop. I'm trying, dude. It's a little hard because, we work together and we have, a lot of, I don't know, not like really hard fights, but we're working together. We're like, let's say, for example, we're developing this thing for January 1st. It's a beautiful program. Maybe I'll even talk about it in a little bit. But before I get there, I'll say, we have to battle a little bit about the vision of that thing. And what I'm trying to say is when you work with somebody, it's not easy to be like, okay, I'm going to accept you as my sensei, right? So if I could, if he would, I could help him. But he's not ready for that help, if that makes sense. I think somebody else could help him. And I think all right, I'm anticipating Queen A4 with liquidats. But I don't think I'm the one to help him. Now, the good news for Black is Black has a completely acceptable position after Queen A4. You can imagine snip, snop, bishop D7. What's that?
Is Mr. Kavusti going to be joining us?
Mr. Kavutsky? No. Dude, he is an unmarried man, so he gets up later. He's also in St. Louis, so it's 6:50 there. He has not once got up for this show, whereas Bruce is Pacific time, and so this game starts at like 1:30 for him. His marriage is in trouble.
You gotta tell him to get
because of
up
that.
one time to beat the Great Fire Snap.
That's right. He has to meet the Great Fire Snap. All right, now White is thinking to himself, do I really want to liquidats with Queen A4? Black gets a playable ending, and the other option would be to just play Bishop E2 and castles and say, what? I'm doing fine. Both are totally plausible for White. But it's just equal at this point. I don't think White has anything special. I think objectively Bishop E2 followed by castles is correct. But if you're playing for a draw, then you're going to think about Queen A4. The problem with Queen A4 is you're dislocating your knight, so you owe really Black a tempo to come back with Knight C3 after you do it. For example, Queen A4, snip, snop, Bishop D7, Knight C3, and either Knight C5 or Bishop C6, and Black is fine. Bishop E2 played. I think that's the right call. We are not interested in no endgame here. And now Black plays castles, castles. Good. What's that, bud?
I want to see what Twitch chat.
You want to see the Twitch chat? Okay.
Talking about anything interesting over there? No.
Kipper Joes tells my long story in a quicker synopsis. That being coach and colleague are different roles. Yeah. Okay. So.
Skibix wants to know what my rating is. I'm an international master.
Skibix his rating is partial and it's 300. It's 300. But I think now that he's doing these streams, do you think doing these streams is getting you all pumped up?
Yes, spouse.
Yeah, it is. Okay. All right, Black has a wide choice here. Rook D8, Bishop D7 is a blunder because Bishop F6, Knight C5. All those moves look very plausible for Black. Bishop F5, also a plausible move with maybe Knight E4 as an intention. Rook D8 played. Now, do we want to play Queen A4 like a chump face?
Or do we want to take the rook?
Can't take the rook, bro, and the queen's protecting the rook. Oh, seeing little things like that, though, that's going to get your rating up. So if you're just playing for a draw, this would be our defaulto.
See me, amigo.
If you were playing for more, maybe you could get frisky with Queen C1, but I don't know. I got my griefs with that. Now one problem.
Draws and wins on a queen move. Oh.
One issue for black is that it's difficult. Whenever he plays knight c5, queen e1, nice move. Whenever he plays knight c5, he's got to worry about b4. I don't know if queen e1 is actually that special of a move, if it does anything different than queen c1. But the point is going to be that if knight c5, we're going to think about probably rook b1 threatening b4. And so what I'm trying to tell you all is black wants knight c5, but because his queen's on a5, it's difficult for him to achieve the a5 blockade. So if you want to put your knight on c5, you want to be immune to the b4 stuff. But after knight c5, rook b1, you can't play the move a5 in time. All right, queen b6 played. Probably a reasonable move. Now, we got several moves here. Knight a4 is a thought. Jump move. Knight a4 played. I'm a GM today.
Yeah, but
The benefit of knight a4 here is, like, let's say queen c6, which we'll call el natural. Let's say maybe b3. We are preventing knight. We're not preventing knight c5. We're just going to take it, though, when that comes.
what about knight g5? Then we go.
Knight g5?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, I've been looking at some interesting variations.
Okay. In general, before we start launching that stuff, Firesnap, we need to bring our pieces into the game.
Bring them coconuts out.
Bring
Mr.
them coconuts out.
Pop.
That's the one advantage, the thing I always tell Firesnap. Now, all right, queen e6.
Michael Saxton wants you to take a shot, boss. Better go get that glass.
So an advantage of this move is now if b3, bishop d7, and you're actually touching my coconut.
Oh no, not the coconut. Just go b3. Then your coconuts won't be touched anymore. And the b2 square is open for the rookie monkey.
Now, we don't have to play b3 here. There's no rush.
But if bishop d7, as you were saying, I was saying you should probably just play b3.
It would be good if we had a nice move here. b3
Bring your peasants out,
is fine,
even though it's not so pleasant for a peasant.
even though it's not so pleasant for a peasant. Could we play b4? Oh, I think b4 might be a nice move. Firesnap.
You're welcome.
Boom. And you know, a lot of times,
Then we can go b5.
whenever you say b4, though, you got to ask before what? Before we play b5, that's what.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then we're covering this square, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know about. That's what
b4 is a pretty intense move. b3 is played. He's playing cautious.
Before he sees, I'm a GM today. I called it b3.
All right, bro, you're a GM today. Bishop d7. I'm anticipating now queen a5.
Seems like a good move.
Now, the point where we didn't do it before is before he had b6, but now I'll snip the knight if he plays b6 because the bishop has lost communication. So maybe the variation we might expect is something like queen a5, snip, snop, crop, and lop.
Wow.
Or maybe
I've never heard
maybe
crap and lop before.
maybe this one, so we don't get hit by 93. Anyways, one of those, and then I'm going to say it's a roughly equal position. Maybe queen b4 is better. Let's see what we got. Knight c3. Okay.
Jump moves.
I don't know if it's a chump move, but in any case,
You should.
he didn't like queen a5.
He should have done the pawn before b5.
Another drink for the game.
That's what I told you, boss. Boss, connect your rooks. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what he's trying to say, yeah. Now, so black has two basic moves, knight c3 and bishop c6, both look
This is
reasonable.
where my knight g5 comes into actionis.
No, we can't go knight. Stop doing this, bud. You're
Why
hanging
not?
you're hanging your big coconut.
Dang it. Bounce.
This bishop is basically sitting on black. We're saying, dude, you're gonna have to move your knight someday anyway. Then I'm gonna snip you. Not the end of the world that I snip you, but I'm gonna snip you.
Snip ya, and then you're gonna snap ya.
I would say black should be happy with this position in the sense that it's just a position with a little bit of messiness where you have a chance, certainly, to win this thing and force it to the
6 or
third
7
tiebreak.
seconds.
6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's 6 or 7 seconds. Okay, us. So for black, I'm thinking about some.
All right, we're talking about night before, and one nice thing about that is even though it looks like a superficial threat, you could play knight c6 after that. I don't know, knight c6, so I'll just move my bishop then. So like night before, I don't like it. Rook c1. Here's a dirty thing though. Look at this. Rook c1. Bishop c6 was played. I'm going to quickly just show the dirty trick here. Knight b4, rook c1, bishop h6, check to the rook. Ah, you got me, son. You got me. All right, bishop c6. Knight b5. Interesting move.
Bishop takes b5. Is what happened, Mr. Bouse.
I don't know about this bishop takes b5 because now my coconut is going to go to c4 and it's going to talk to you. It's going to talk to you, buddy. And then your knight g5 might be on the table, bud.
Knight c5.
Knight c5. We're anticipating bishop c4. Very nice move from Yospem.
He's a GM today.
Active play. Queen f5. White has several moves here. Queen e3 could be a basic move. I like queen e3 because Faugra said earlier we want to connect the rooks. So queen e3 would be a nice simple thing to do.
If you would have gone knight b4 black, could have gone for that forky.
By the way, I'm going to say that white is better in this position. We now have the two bishops. And maybe the argument for black is just long-term. Long-term black has to make an argument to say that the bishops are chumps and that the double pawns are meaningful. I don't know if that's true. Firesnap doesn't really believe it either. So if rook a c8, we're just going to plant a rook here and say thank you very much. If b6, we're going to plant a rook here and say thank you very much. At some point, you might want to play, you do want to play e6. Okay, but here's an interesting problemito in Casito. Whenever he plays e6, why does he want to do it? He wants to break this off.
Why can't we take the c5 knight again?
Well, it's our move, and we just played queen e3. Who's a GM today, by the way? That's me.
No.
Yeah, I called queen e3, bro. I'm a GM today.
I called b5. I called b3. So.
We only say it on the move in question, bro. Okay, so queen e3, and what I want to say is he's got to defend the knight somehow. Whenever e6 comes, this might be the cold shower we're looking for.
I don't want no cold shower, bro.
And I have a dirty trick in mind. If rook a c8 or b6 fire snap, we might want to ponder knight g5.
Yeah, buddy.
And just as an example, if e6, oh, I wanted to ponder this. I wanted to, but it's no bueno because he goes here and touches my coconuts. No, this is not. I don't know.
What about
That's
that?
the kind of thing he's
And
going to
then
worry
after that-
about, though.
And then after that, he could play f3. Check to the miserable.
All right, here we go. So this g4 at some point could be a real hassle in the castle for Mr. Black. Pentala is losing on time, my friends. He is losing on time.
You want me to make you some coffee? I figured out how to make.
No. This thing is going to end soon, and then we're ending the stream, I think, buddy.
Oh, you hear that, guys? Stream's over.
It's not over yet. Knight d3.
Who's calling me?
All right, that's what we call a fancy move in the business. That's what we call a fancy move in this business.
What business?
The chess business, of course.
Of course.
All right, we got several reasonable looking moves. Rook a1. If we were scared of what black's doing, we just play rook a1. Oh, no, maybe we don't play rook a1. Maybe we don't. Okay. Rook 81, I don't know. If bishop c3, which is our other candidate move, we got to worry about some kind of knight discovery weirdness. And maybe a knight f4 weirdness. But bishop c3 is the move we'd like to do. And so knight d3 is definitely a tricky souse from the bows. He's trying to get tricky. He needs to get tricky. He needs some tricks.
From the bow.
Right, so bishop c3, I'm concerned about knight d5. That is my concern. Could I play, would it be clever to play bishop d4? That way on knight d5, I just take your coconut and say thank you.
These knight d5 jumps.
So bishop d4 might be a very clever move. Oh, I like bishop d4. Will I be a GM today? And this is very simple because then I'm just saying I'm threatening your knight. I'm just threatening your knight, but I'm saying go away. Ooh, that's a nice move. Very calm, controlled move. Calm. Calmate. Bishop d4, am I going to be a GM today? I like bishop d4. That's a hell of a drop. Bishop d4 also with a very simple threat of queen e7 with this coconut.
Are we dreaming of that after that? Are we dreaming of bishop?
Dude, I think bishop...
F7?
Yeah. Bishop d4 looks winning.
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 Winning. You might have to try e5 or something, Bows. I don't know. It ain't looking good for you. Winning.
There's no special sauce left after that.
Maybe you got to play...
Now we get that queen takes.
You might have to do this move, and it's this is called hairball. That's what we call that move.
Then don't we take with a knighty knight, 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 knight?
We probably take with a knighty knight knight, and
Then get that. Then we got. Oh, we'll be
that
so
looks
beautiful
reasonable for us, dude.
If we could check this king.
He
into
might-
H7.
He might survive with that, but that's not what we're not. We don't care about survival. If we get either an equal position or a winning
Come on,
position,
now,
that's what we're looking
just
for.
play the move.
Yeah, bishop d4, buddy. You need to do it.
Got this. Come on. Jose. Please.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. There's some Spanish streams going right now, and they're screaming things like goal. All right, rook 81. We're gonna call that the chump move. However, don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. This is still like white's still in control, and the move that I was thinking black can dream about is knight e5, e6, and we gotta wonder if we got something special.
I wonder.
So knight e5. I liked our bishop d4 better. We'll check with the engine maybe after the stream. All right, knight e5, e6. So I'm a GM today.
Cat's Prof says Yosipam is breaking through after being stuck with the Indian kids.
I don't know if he's breaking through. Black has now like dreams, because now the bishop on c4, if it does not have any tricks on this, he is just worthless.
Has there been any two 600 versus two 700 games?
Black is coming here. Yeah, we've had loads of 26 versus 2700 games. Patrick wants a sack on f7. I get it, but I also don't see how it works out. If like g4, I always have queen e4.
These chumps over here on the FIDE stream are yapping about the chump Liam Lee and chump Dumb Prof game.
Why isn't the dojo advertising Black Friday deals? Oh, we might. That's a good point. Let's add that to the list.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you very much.
However, let me tell you what we got. We have a Goa deal, World Championship, World Cup deal, and that is, what is the deal? Can you tell them what the deal is?
What's the deal?
Oh, you don't remember, bruv?
Oh Oh, it's 20% off.
Yeah.
Or
Using
no,
what code?
67% off.
67% off. Using what code, bud?
Chess?
Oh, he played G4 like a maniac.
G4 is the code. Is it Shankland?
No, it's Goa. Using code Goa. Wait!
Oh!
Wait a second. Wait, he might have a crazy idea here, my friends. Let's say Queen E4. Give me a second with this. Give me a second. Let's say I take. And now I play G5.
Whoa.
Welcome to the dojo. Look what happens here, my friends.
Yeah, buddy.
What happens? The F rook magically taukes. He's tauking. Oh, buddy, what an idea. Yo, spam, dude. Nice move. Queen C2. Okay, so black said I couldn't do Queen E4 because of G5. Now, basic move from Yospam. Can I take on D8 and then take on B7?
Black needs to get that lady out of our territory.
Yep. I'm guessing Queen A7 now.
I was reading your Lisa book last night.
Yeah, nice, dude. Knight F7, even better. You're done. Game over. Welcome to the dojo. It's funny, I was thinking about Knight F7 forever, and then this was the most obvious way. It goes Queen C2, and that's why I was like, Queen E4 is the only move. And then when he played Queen C2, I was like, oh, A7's hanging. Nobody. F7's hanging. Who, Patrick Daylitson? He's a GM today. That's game. Because the white squares are just collapsing now.
Jeez.
See, Firesnap, you watch this stream here. Oh, bud, that chump Oscar, he's not seeing moves like Knight F7. He's just sitting at home. He doesn't see this. You're seeing it, bud. Look at this, Knight F7.
Think about them
What happens on King F7? You tell us.
King F7?
What happens?
Where are we going, King F7?
If he takes our knight, what happens, buddy?
Then we go Queen A6.
Yeah,
Welcome to
but
the dojo.
and then King F8?
Yeah, buddy.
And then what happens after King F8?
King F8. Hold up, I don't have a big brain like you.
You got it.
King
Figure it out, man. King F8, what happens?
Oh.
What happens? Let's put some arrows on there for you,
Thank
bud.
you very
Boom,
much.
boom, boom. What's the big idea?
Once he goes there, checkmate.
Where?
F7.
Nice, bro. Okay, we got to move rook E8.
But
So knight G5 is a default move here for white. Maybe we got something better. On knight G5, maybe you're a little concerned about bishop H6, but not really.
not really. We're not scared of that jump move.
So we got to move on the board, I think. Knight D6, simple and strong. One cruel feature of this knight D6 move is that if you go rook E7, I might play knight C8 and say you got to go back to E8 and then we're going to get a draw by repetition. That would be cold. That would be really cold. Rook E7 played. I think knight C8 forces the draw.
Oh, bells.
Yeah, buddy, rook E8. Let's do it. Knight D6. Welcome to the dojo. And they're about to claim a repetition on moves. White is, of course, winning this position. Yospem doesn't care. He just needs a draw. Victory is a sign. Yospem hangs his head in glory. The nervous exhaustion, he makes it to the next round. Dang. He did it, man. Yospem and Shankland are through to the next round. Let's go see who Yospem is going to face. Wait, that's not it. Here's our tournament bracket. So, Yospem, where are you playing here, buddy? You're going to play Sindarov, and I'll tell you one thing, man. Yospem, I'm all for you, bruv, but Sindarov, he's a tough cookie, bruv. That guy's a tough cookie.
So, is
Yep.
Donchenko gonna play Yobolev?
I don't care about Donchenko.
Donchenko.
I don't care. I think, okay, we could look for half a second. That's that thing.
Half a second?
Half a second. I think Donchenko is still playing. Donchenko has no business being here. I'm sure he's a great player. He's no business here. So, where is Donchenko? Here they go. They're just playing and playing and playing. So, Donchenko is 3-3. Nah, you know what? I don't care. I don't.
have a
I
choice.
though Liam Lee should win, but I don't care about
I should win.
Liam Lee. Yeah. So amazing, friends. We are gonna be back. Me and Bruce are gonna be here at 5:30.
I will also be here.
Yeah, or excuse me, is it 5:30? Is it that early? It's 4:30 Eastern time. 4:30. Before we raid somebody, I want to show you guys something. I have to log my own business here. So this is the Dojo training program. This was the game that we were looking at. So I'm going to delete this. I don't need this. And now I'm going to go log my business.
Yeah, buddy.
How many hours would you say we did? I did here. Right? The Twitch is nice because it just shows me I've done 340. A lot of that was coffee though. Me making coffee. So I'm only going to count
Let go 320.
320. Okay, good. So I'm going to give myself credit for 3 hours and 20 minutes of work. Update. I have met my weekly goal. I've well surpassed it with 19 hours. But, this is a little bit of soft study. I'm very much, I get something out of this, but I'm also streaming at the same time. I'm not necessarily going super deep. I'm going to give you, Firesnap, the ability to raid somebody on this list.
Okay.
This guy's a French dude who's a great player, but he's speaking in French. He's cool.
Oh.
There's Witty Alien. I don't know too much about him. We're not raiding that. We could raid the Lithuanian sisters.
Let's go Lithuanian sisters.
All right, let's do Lithuanian sisters.
Wait. What is you guys? What do you want to do?
They want the Lithuanian sisters, dude. They want that thirst trap.
What?
Lithuanian sisters. I've never raided them, so I'm down for raiding them. I'm always down for raiding some people. Again, my friends, we're going to be back at 4:30. This is the Chess Dojo training program. Use code GOA to get 20% off of your first month. Raid.